most irrelevant podcast that we've ever recorded?
I thought you were going to say erotic.
No.
I don't know why.
No, every podcast is the most erotic podcast we've ever recorded.
That sounds right.
No, we are recording the most irrelevant Rage Select podcast here on Rage Select with me, Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
And do you know why it's irrelevant?
Reasons. I actually have no
because of the day that we record. Because last week, all that DC stuff came out like a day after I recorded.
Oh, yeah.
And this week, as we are recording, Gamescom is happening. And so everybody's going to be like, did you see that Ratchet & Clank? Did you see that one thing? Did you watch that new Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning trailer? And I'll be like, no.
Oh, yeah, that is the thing.
We're going to talk about DC. I was actually thinking of Godfall because I've now started to get Godfall and Kingdoms of Amalur confused in my head.
They're the same thing, no.
Because they both look like total garbage. So,
Carver needs to tell you the difference between these two pictures.
Yep. So, yes, we are going to basically focus pretty heavily on DC Fandome from last week and then a bunch of other shit that happened this week. But if you're here expecting Gamescom, you got to wait 7 days. I got
7 days.
I need another week to get that shit under control. So
just don't watch The Ring prior to that point. You'll be fine.
Yes. If you watch Gamescom, Jeff calls you on your cell phone. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't like whisper anything. I'm just yelling at people into their cell phones.
And he comes out of your PlayStation instead.
Yeah. I just go into your cross-media bar and start rearranging shit. It's like, get out of here, Jeff. I'm like,
stop putting NFL first.
You want to do chat on your PlayStation, don't you?
You love your browser on your PlayStation.
Whoops. I uninstalled Destiny and then reinstalled Linux like on the PS3 on your PS4. You didn't even know that could happen, did you?
No. That's what's so supernatural about it.
Yeah. Do you remember when you could install Linux on your PS3?
That was a big thing for a while.
Weird.
Super weird, but everyone was very excited.
Yep. All right. Well, you know what? Unless there's anything critical, Michael, unless I didn't really watch or play anything last week, mostly I think we're just going to jump right into this DC stuff.
I'll just mention real quick, the review for You Cannot Kill David Arquette was just posted on oneofus.net.
Okay.
And that was one of the things I wasn't allowed to talk about until right now, but it's really good.
Okay.
It's a documentary about David Arquette finding redemption as a wrestler again.
Yeah.
From having won the WCW championship for Ready to Rumble in 2000.
Okay.
So he wants to not be a laughingstock in the wrestling community.
I would also like to not be a laughingstock in the wrestling community. Actually, I don't think the wrestling community knows who I am. So.
They probably don't. I hope not.
Well, you know who does a lot of wrestling, Michael?
Who's that?
Batman!
That sounds right.
I hope you guys are ready for I feel like sometimes DC forgets that there are people in there. Okay, so it used to be in the olden days, right, that it was all Batman and Superman all the time, right? First it was all Superman because everybody knew about Superman. Then it was all Batman in the 80s, and then it was all Batman and Superman, and then it was Batman versus Superman. And then for some reason now it's like their binary focus has turned into a triforce of Batman, Superman, and the Suicide Squad. And everything is Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad. And for Suicide Squad, I'm including I think the Harley Quinn animated series had a lot of Suicide Squad vibes to it, just with the weird villains as a group type of thing.
I could see that. Also, they were originally part of Arrow at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Suicide Squad was part of that originally.
Forgotten that whole thing.
And then they had to write them out eventually because they made the movie.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
That happens a lot, guys. WB, for some reason, doesn't think audiences know that two different things are two different things.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, they're going to get confused, so now you can't do that. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I think that it makes sense. If you think about everything that DC has done over the last, 10, 20 years, if you just filter all that through the perception that, DC management thinks everybody's really stupid, it kind of lines up.
That's true.
It kind of makes sense.
That's their thought process.
You know, the reason that we're not selling comics is because everybody doesn't know 30 years of Batman history, even though that doesn't make a difference. Let's reboot our entire universe for some reason.
The perfect example.
And then, oh no, we everybody hates it. Let's bring back classic universe.
Everybody hates everything but the Batman stuff.
Right.
I don't know what happened there.
Yep. And I was thinking about it today, how I think that I do know that I'm a little sick of Batman, but then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, I'm allowed to be sick of Batman. Because I'm 42.
Oh, okay.
So, I was watching reruns of Adam West Batman when I was a kid, and then came Tim Burton Batman, which was, a huge-ass thing. And then the movies, there were 4 movies, right? There's 2 Tim Burtons and the other bad ones.
The Schumachers.
Yep. And then the animated show started. So every day after school, you could watch the animated show. And then it was like, there was a little bit of a drought, and then the Nolanverse started. And then immediately after the Nolanverse, then we got into BVS territory, and now we're rebooting again. People get mad about Spider-Man, but Batman's got to be rebooted way more times.
There's the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Then there's the Batman, and then there was Batman the Brave and the Bold, and then there was Beware the Batman.
I didn't even watch any of those. There's Justice League Unlimited,
and then they made their.
And then all the animated
all
movies.
of the Batman games, all the animated movies. It's just been Batman
it seems
for the past 20 years.
It seems like for a while there, when they were putting out the animated movies, it was like, here's a well-known Superman story, here's a well-known Batman story, here's a well-known Superman story, here's a well-known Batman story.
Yeah, and they did one Green Lantern one in the middle.
Right.
One Wonder Woman one.
Yeah.
And then they went back to Batman.
I guess it's just, the thing is that I don't hate Batman. It's just, if I ate steak every day of my life, eventually I'd be tired of steak. I'd
eventually want some chicken.
I'd like some fish, please.
Yeah.
Can I get some fried shrimp or I don't know, something? They're like, no, more red meat. Put it inside
Batman.
of you.
This time it's red meat, but it has a different type of seasoning on it. It's like, God damn you.
That's right. Yeah. This time it sparkles like Twilight. So, we got our first actual honest to God trailer for The Batman.
Yes.
Tell me, you know this shit more than I do because I don't give a fuck about movies. The guy that directed this, everybody's in love with him.
Yes, Matt Reeves was the guy who directed this.
Who's that? Who is he?
Shit, you put me on the spot on that one.
Okay,
he's known for a lot of little stuff that people really really liked.
Okay,
but everybody's really trusts him. Every time somebody mentions Matt Reeves, everyone's like, "Well, I'm really into this movie because I trust Matt Reeves."
What's the thing that Matt Reeves did that made everybody really trust him? Let's see, filmography, director. He was the writer of Under Siege 2: Dark Territory. That bodes very
That's exactly
well.
why. I remember now. He was mostly known for Cloverfield and the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes stuff.
Let Me In, and then the Planet of the Apes. Okay, so I thought Cloverfield was okay, and I didn't watch any of the Planet of the Apes, so that's why I'd have no idea who this
Planet of
guy
the
is.
Apes stuff was great. And I forgot that he did that. I didn't know about him helping write Under Siege 2 because I actually really like Under Siege 2.
Dark Territory.
Ridiculous that fucking movie is.
Was Christy Swanson in Under Siege 2: Dark Territory?
I don't remember.
They bring in somebody else.
They definitely brought somebody else, I think.
Pops out a birthday cake. That's the only thing I remember about that. She was asleep in a birthday cake, and that's why the terrorists didn't get her. And then she pops out with her boobs out, and Steven Seagal gives her a jacket or something to put on over her boobs for a while.
I think that was the first one, I think.
Yeah. No, that's not. I don't think I can tell you anything about Under Siege 2: Dark Territory.
I think that one's in the sub.
It's on a train.
No, the second one's in a sub.
The second one's in a sub?
If I remember correctly, the second
Are you
one's in a sub.
sure? Because I remember a box art with Steven Seagal hanging off the side of a train.
Fuck, now we gotta look this up. We're gonna stop what we're doing.
Yeah,
so we can find out what's going on with Under Siege 2.
We'll talk about the Batman in a second.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
Is it on a train? Okay. This is very important. I didn't want the entire comment section to be about.
I don't want them yelling at us about Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I mean, look, unless I'm just looking at a very small thumbnail here, and he's actually hanging off the side of a submarine. No, that is obviously a train.
Yeah, it is obviously a train.
Okay, all right. Was there one on a submarine?
I think that's the first one.
No, the first one's on a boat. It's on a ship. Oh no, it is on a submarine.
It is on a sub. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
That's right, guys. Steven Seagal, the podcast.
Yeah, what is this, junk food cinema? See, now you've got me wondering whether it was Christy Swanson in the first one.
Oh, it was a Navy ship, so we got that wrong.
Okay, so it wasn't a submarine.
It wasn't a submarine. I don't know. What am I thinking of?
I was correct. I was correct. Hold on. I have to find out what.
We stopped the entire podcast for this. But
Under Siege must be. I need to know who that lady was. It was in an Under Siege. I thought it was. Let's see. Tech, Gary Busey, Dantel. Oh, is it Erica Eleniak? Okay,
that makes. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, she was a Playboy playmate. Anyway, back to the Batman, who is not a Playboy playmate.
Who's not Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he is very pretty, though. I mean, Robert Pattinson
Steven Seagal
is an attractive man. No. Steven Seagal is ugly and weird.
He is.
This, I mean, a lot of people have already said this, so this isn't anything new, but very Seven vibes, right? Very, detective, vibes. Like the whole reveal of him in the trailer is him just like walking into a room to look at a riddle from the Riddler.
Yes.
Or I mean, like, I don't know. This is one of those, like, it's so hard with movies. This seems fine. Like, I'm not a big fan anymore. I wish we could move away from the, like, segmented armor batsuit to something a little bit more, like, kind of classic lines. Like,
that's fair. I get that.
I feel like, not to do this whole thing, but, like, I feel like watching this and the Snyder Cut trailer, like, I feel like Marvel has gotten really good at, like, creating kind of primary color, realistic looking, but still with some lines, but not like all the lines. Like, I feel like DC stuff right now is like way over designed.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that when you look at a design for a DC suit, at least for certain ones, they're very complicated to be like, well, this is a real world look. It's like, yeah, but you don't always need it to be like that. It just needs to look like something that could exist in a world. Like Captain America suits and everything from like the Winter Soldier up,
right,
I think are fantastic examples of being able to get that colorful, real world looking outfit, but still be like a superhero suit.
I don't know. I'm really partial to the gray Batman suit with the big black. Well, you know what? The first Arkham Asylum had a very good it was like a good middle ground between.
You
just
never
like,
question the fact that he has the classic underwear,
right,
kind of look on him,
right,
even in this really dark, realistic kind of thing. That's why I wasn't a big fan of the Arkham Knight suit as much, is because his face looks kind of weird in that
it just
suit.
went all like super Iron Man, like half an Iron Man suits.
And it was really weird. And then like especially since you look at him in the beginning of that game and he's not wearing it, and you're like, oh, that's a normal looking Batman.
Yeah.
And then they put the overly complicated suit on him. And I feel like that's a thing that DC has issues with nowadays. But
are you excited for this?
I actually am, only because the director has been very, very adamant that it's going to lean more into the detective aspect, and that's the thing that I feel like has been missing from a lot of Batman-related things nowadays.
Okay,
because everybody who watches Batman stuff now is like, "What's the action part? All of the action." It's like, I kind of want to see Batman think about shit again.
Yeah, like,
I'm cool with that.
Try to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been trending in that direction, right? Of like the Batman, the man who has a plan for everything and like knows everything and is always 3 steps ahead of everybody, and that can be fun. But sometimes it's also fun to watch somebody figure something out. Also, I mean, like, I don't think it's off base to say that way heavier Nolan-verse vibes in this than anything from like Justice League, right?
Yeah,
like,
this is definitely like, it's going towards the darker look, a little too dark in certain scenes, I guess. But I also get the vibe that it's trying to be the Neil Adams kind of like way of Batman working. Yeah, because he's got like the car that isn't like, it still looks like a car, right, kind of thing, and he's still he's working with the police instead of, you know, every other movie since the Nolan films where he's just like running from them every 20 seconds.
Sure.
And I like that about this. It's very much is that 1970s Neil Adams kind of era.
You know, I in all honesty, if this took place in the modern day, I could almost see a track of like Joaquin Phoenix Joker existing in the same universe, like 10 years after Joker the movie.
A lot of people really want that to be a thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Yeah. Because he walks up on those like the guy that he ends up just fucking annihilating in the trailer.
Oh yeah, the weird like gang, and one of the kids has like kind of Jokerish makeup on.
Yeah, they're like they look almost Jokerish, and I'm like, well, why are you guys like a gang of Jokers kind of thing? And then it's like, well, maybe it is in that universe, because that would, like, the way that the timeline works in that movie, it could very easily be it.
Actually, do you think that all of those kids were at the Dia de los Muertos where Superman was in BVS, and they were just like, I'm never taking this makeup off. I touched Superman.
That would be amazing.
And now they're all just like shitty teenagers, so now they're just putting like crosses and fucking it up, and they're just like, ugh, I'm still not taking it off, but fuck Superman. I hate him now.
Weren't they in like Mexico or something?
Yes.
So they just drove all the way to Gotham?
Sure.
I'm cool with that.
I mean, you know.
They immigrated.
They immigrated to Gotham City.
They walked into the border.
Yeah. They got inspired
with the face
with the Dia de los Muertos. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you seem cool. Just come on in.
Yeah. They were like, I like it. I mean, at that point, the cops were not on the lookout for Mexican Joker, so
that's true.
They just let him right in.
They weren't surprised by Mexican Jokers back then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I come to this podcast and I feel like there's this whole thing on the internet where people are just like, man, that looks like shit. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm not gonna watch Batman. Like,
I think it looks fine. Everybody was like, it looked like shit because they saw the suit. But once you see anything in motion, it tends to look a lot better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it. I'll probably, but okay. While I am not super excited, but I will watch it. I am super excited, even though I kind of didn't say as much in the beginning about the just Suicide Squad, like the Suicide Squad roll call video that they put out with all the different Suicide Squad people.
Well, it brings up what we were talking about earlier, where it's like primary colors.
Yeah.
And James Gunn is like, I'm going to make this shit as comic accurate as I possibly can for some of these people.
I apologize because I'm ripping this off from somebody in the Discord who may have been, I think I'm going to attribute it to one of our fine patrons in Discord who was like, Rick Flag in the first movie I didn't give a shit about, and then James Gunn puts a yellow t-shirt on him. I'm like, yeah, Rick Flag is back!
Yeah, because it's Rick Flag now.
Right, he's the yellow t-shirt guy.
Like, you look at these characters like, oh, I know who it is now by looking at them.
Yep.
Whereas the last one, you had a hard time figuring out who was who sometimes.
Also, you know what I like about this is that there is a huge goddamn cast.
That's huge cast.
And that means people are gonna die.
Also, Harley Quinn's outfit is fucking amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's this great, actual outfit that isn't...
It's not hot pants,
hot topic nonsense. It's like, this looks like a practical outfit for the most part.
She looks a lot like... I like the red and the black are back, and she looks... she reminds me of the way that she looks in the Arkham games.
Yeah,
more.
She's a lot like the Arkham City kind of outfit.
Yeah.
But with a jacket on.
Red and black leather.
Thing, and I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic.
Yep. There's so many people in this goddamn movie.
There's so many. Fucking Polka Dot Man is in this movie.
I don't even know who most of these characters are. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Is a lot of them are Batman related. Like Polka Dot Man is. So is
Ratcatcher. Yeah, is one.
That's a Superman villain that Idris Elba plays.
Who's
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport.
His backstory is kind of weird.
Bloodsport was weird because his outfit makes him look like one of the death judges from Judge Dredd.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Whenever I saw it, I was just like, he looks like one of the fucking Judge Deaths.
They had to really change his outfit though, because his outfit would be the weirdest if they kept it exactly the same.
Yeah.
I love that King Shark looks kind of like the way he does in the Harley Quinn show, though.
I like the fact that King Shark is now in three properties.
He's in 3 properties. He was in a lot of the animated movies they did for Suicide Squad.
He was in the Assault on Arkham.
Yeah, he was Assault on Arkham. He's also in the last DC one they did, the end of the New 52 stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah. Lot of good stuff going on here. I appreciate James Gunn. I like it's funny how, I thought that Suicide Squad was like the worst of the first gen DC movies. Like,
it got really fucked though, is what I hear from it.
Yeah,
from like the get go.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched that movie a few times just to watch it and be like, why is the editing so bad in this movie?
Well, you know why though, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah. But I'm just super excited that James Gunn is doing this because
it's very exciting.
It seems like it's going to be fun. You got Peter Capaldi, you got Nathan Fillion, you got fucking John Cena.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people with like big personalities. Which is good because one of the things that I mean, people have there's some kind of questions about this, but like one of the things about Birds of Prey that didn't work for me was I felt like Harley Quinn's personality kind of overpowered everybody else's.
She absolutely does.
But here I'm like, Nathan Fillion is in this movie. I bet he's going to be dead by the end. Actually, it's like, you know what? You could create a whole like fantasy football like betting on
you could do the Deadpool on the Suicide Squad. Yes,
exactly. And it looks great
because the first one, it was obvious who was going to die when he looked at the list. You're like fucking Slipknot. You're like, that dude's fucking dead.
No, but see, that's just what I'm talking about. The editing is they had all those slick intros for everybody, and then Amanda Waller goes over everybody's power, and then they assemble all of them, and then another guy walks up to the Suicide Squad, and like, by the way, this guy's also coming with you, and then Captain Boomerang's like, I bet these bombs don't even work. And I'm just like, well, you guys.
Of course, that guy's going to be the one to die.
He should have had a T-shirt on that just said "dead meat." Like,
should have showed up in a red shirt.
Yeah,
Star Trek.
But yeah, I can't. Like, the other thing is that because these characters are so small, a lot of them are smaller. I can't tell like who the hell is going to survive this.
That's what's great about this one. You look at the list and you're like, I have no idea who's going to survive except for maybe Harley and Captain Boomerang, and that's it.
Yeah. Maybe Idris Elba.
Yeah, maybe Idris Elba only because he's a big actor.
Yeah,
but fucking Bloodsport. I'm like one of 5 people who know who Bloodsport is.
Yeah, but this is why I keep talking about, like, when you make a movie about Batman, you bring in a bunch of baggage because of Batman, right? Like, there's going to be something in the Batman where they have to explain how he became the Batman, right? Like, you know, so I love this because it's like, yeah, we're just going to fucking bring in Michael Rooker in a dumb costume.
Like, fuck it.
Then we'll do, and like, actually, they would be smart if they did those little intros like they did in the original Suicide Squad, to just be like, here's 5 seconds of who this is, and then we will never discuss this again. Go on to the plot, right?
I'm completely accepting of whatever James Gunn is going to do with this movie.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And like a roller coaster that goes up and down, I am not excited about the Snyder Cut. I have espoused a level of like apathy towards this because I don't give a shit. But you know, like, DC is starting to dig their way out of this fucking hole, the horrible Zack Snyder hole that he built for them between Man of Steel and BVS. And now it's like, but no, they want the dark, gritty Justice League version. And looking at this, like, what, 3-4 years after original Justice
League has been out for a while now,
BVS or whatever. Oh my god, it's exhausting to look at. I'm like, oh fuck, we're going back to the horrible, dark, depressing, shitty Snyderverse.
Yeah, everything is like really dark,
super high. They got the contrast jacked all the way up. They got the color is jacked into blues. It's all cool.
I was looking at one of those memes where it was like Eric Andre was like, but what if it was this? And it was like a screenshot from the Justice League that came out and a screenshot from the super like contrast one. It's like, but what if it was Snyder? And it was just super dark looking. And it's like, fuck, I didn't realize how much they saturated this fucking thing.
Yeah. I also, I mean, I guess I kind of knew this briefly in my head, but like what they said, it's going to be four 1 hour
4 hours
things.
long.
Jesus,
it's going to be really long.
But I've already seen that movie, so that means that the existing movie, which I thought was like okay, forgettable, like not as offensive as some of the other stuff, like at least it wasn't fucking Batman quoting Dick Cheney at me. Like it was like Superman is evil for a few minutes, and then they CGI his mustache off, and then he's going to go fight a really B tier. New god. So
the guy no one gives a fuck about, to be honest.
And it's like, oh, well, is it going to be all of that, and then like another 2 hours of movie on top of that?
Well,
like, good God,
there's a lot of like reshot stuff that was in the newer or the version that came out.
Yeah,
and so all of this stuff is the stuff that he did, but it shows how annoying Zack Snyder is that he keeps making these things where he's like, the director's cut version of these things are going to be like 5 hours long. Like he did it with Watchmen, which was like 4 hours long, and he's doing it again with this. And
did he make a 4 hour version of Watchmen?
There's a 4 hour version of Watchmen.
Oh god,
because you know how they came out with the animated Black Flag or whatever thing.
I never watched it.
They're called that was supposed to be in the original movie. So when you have the extended stuff and that mixed with it,
good God,
it becomes 4 hours long.
I never thought that stuff was important enough to leave in. Like,
well, it's because it's one of those things, the metaphors, all that shit.
Yeah,
because he wanted it to be like exact. It's one of those things.
Yeah, but he fucking changed the goddamn monster into Dr. Manhattan and fucked up the whole plot. Like
he really did.
It's the whole thing.
He really did. Yeah, he seems to like 4 hour versions of stuff.
I don't know, man.
And I don't think I can deal with 4 hour versions of depressing Superman.
The other problem that I have is I hate this song.
Hallelujah.
I hate that song so much.
Well, he used it in Watchmen.
Yep, and I hated it there too.
When the Owl Man, or not Owl Man, fucking Night Owl's fucking Silk Spectre.
I hate it in Shrek. I hate it.
Was it in Shrek?
I think so. I think it was like a version of that where they're all depressed in
That sounds
Shrek or
right.
Shrek 2 or something.
Speaking of Shrek, somebody recut this trailer to an epic version of Smash Mouth and actually made it a better trailer somehow with that.
Well, it's also 2 minutes and 43 seconds long, but somehow it feels like it's 20 minutes long when you're watching it.
Well, it says it's a teaser, and I'm like, your teaser's 2 minutes long, guys.
But it's nothing but like slow motion shots that linger forever.
Yeah.
Under Hallelujah, there's one line of dialogue there's like 2 lines of dialogue at the end where Batman's like, they've never faced all of us together before.
What I do enjoy about this trailer, though, is that there is the sheer amount of actual different scenes in this thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these sequences were not in the theatrical cut that they came out with.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, DC, you were heading in such a great direction, and then you let like a group on the internet just. I mean, I do understand that, like, as a way to get people to sign up for HBO Max, it is kind of brilliant, because if that wasn't the case, they would not have made this.
No, absolutely.
They would never have put it back in the theater. Like,
It would have. This is like, it's a good move for them, but they're still spending a lot of money on it.
yeah.
And what worries me is that they're going to take this as the wrong message and be like, Snyder, come back on inside.
Yeah.
And he just shoots all the other directors and just paints the walls black and then just goes, we're good.
Yep. Now we're gonna make I don't know who's a very chipper DC. We're gonna make the Flash movie, but it's gonna be so goddamn depressing.
It's going to be the darkest thing ever. Irish West is going to be addicted to crack or something. It's going to be a whole thing.
God. And then kind of splitting the difference, I think I had Wonder Woman, which I didn't like the original Wonder Woman as much as everybody else. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a little too long. It got a little convoluted. And
It was a bad Act 3.
Yeah, some stuff that didn't work.
Their villain is like, I'm Ares. Also, I'm still an old British dude. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, now I'm a big CGI monster.
Who's also an old British dude.
Who's also an old British dude.
So I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. It's a weird fucking movie.
This is weird. This one comes up in something that we were talking about before we started, where like, this one's in Wonder Woman 1984. It's supposed to take place in 1984. And like it kind of looks like 1984 a little bit, but like
it tries here and there.
It's doing its best, but
a lot of the technology.
See, I guess the thing is that I was alive in 1984 and I remember 1984, and like, you know how in Stranger Things people look stupid because it's the 80s, like, you know, they wore pastel eyeshadow and like they had fucking shoulder pads and shit. Like, we look dumb in the 80s, and here it's
true.
like they don't look dumb. Like,
well, they make a reference to it at the very end.
Yeah,
with the parachute pants.
There's no, Diana should be having shoulder pads in there. Like, she's a goddamn designing woman.
It is weird that she doesn't.
Her hair should be all teased out, or at least Kristen Wiig's character. Like, there's that part where Kristen Wiig comes in like this evening gown. She doesn't look like she's in 1984. She looks like she's fucking 2020. Like, nobody's hair is dumb enough. Nobody's clothes are stupid enough, and then everything looks like it's high contrast, and it doesn't look quite right. I don't know. I don't know. I hope this one hangs together a little better because they don't have the chaff of like the squad with the guys that are with them.
Well, yeah, because they don't have to connect it to anything, the way the first one does.
So I'm hoping that just as a movie. Even though it is Kristen Wiig,
yes,
is like the bad guy.
She plays Cheetah in this movie.
And I'm like,
you heard me right.
And I'm like, I don't understand how Cheetah is a threat, and I don't understand why Kristen Wiig is in a dramatic movie, because her character in here looks a lot like she did in Ghostbusters. Like, I keep getting flashbacks to her in Ghostbusters. And
well, she's done dramatic stuff before, and she is pretty good when you let her be dramatic, but I hope she didn't improv at all is really what it comes down to.
I just I thought when you wanted Kristen Wiig but dramatic, you got that other lady that I keep getting confused with Kristen Wiig.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The lead in Ratched, and she was in like American Horror Story.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't remember the actress's name.
Her name.
I know who she is, but I don't know her name.
For some reason, my brain just. Her and Kristen Wiig go back and forth in my brain for some reason.
I could somewhat see that, but no, she actually has done some actual serious stuff, and she's been really good in that. But the issue I have is like, are they gonna make her be a serious character, or is she gonna be a comic relief at first and then try to go serious? Because then I'm gonna have a harder time believing that. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Wonder Woman, everybody liked it, so I'm glad it's getting a sequel. It doesn't look as dark and depressing as Snyder cuts.
That's why I'm excited for it. I'm actually very hopeful because I liked the first one enough. It was the best thing that came out for a while from DC, which is saying a lot, to be honest. But, and then Shazam came out, so I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
Fair enough. Speaking of things, now we get over to games. We finally found out what Rocksteady's been working on for a gajillion years.
Yeah.
This is, wait for it, everybody. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, which we knew was the name. I feel like I've seen a lot of like kind of antipathy towards this, but I kind of like this idea. Like, it may just be that I'm finally warming up to the Suicide Squad after a long time, but like I was thinking about the idea of, because the thing here is that the Suicide Squad is supposed to, like, this whole trailer is the Suicide Squad's kind of just fucking around on a rooftop. It's Harley and Captain Boomerang and King Shark and Deadshot.
Yeah.
And then it's like, they have to go get Alpha Target, and then Alpha Target is Superman, and they yell at Superman, but then Superman like smokes a dude, and he's all evil and shit, and they're like, oh fuck, we have to beat up Superman. And like, I kind of like the idea of, so Superman, I was thinking of like, evil Superman is a thing that we've seen a lot of recently.
Yeah, a lot.
But like in Injustice, that we had an evil Superman, but it was like, but everybody's the same power level, right? So you're just going to beat up Superman.
That's true, yeah.
It's going to be fine.
They had to give an explanation for why everyone could.
Right.
That sort of thing.
And we've seen some evil Supermans in a few other I guess in Justice League, like he was frightening when he was evil.
And Justice League is very frightening when he's evil.
Because nobody can fucking touch him like the Flash tries to, and then he like turns his head towards him. And it's
I love that moment.
Goddamn horror movie.
That's like the best part of that entire movie is like Flash running fast and everyone's in slow motion.
Yeah.
And then Batman or Superman's eyes just turns and looks at him. And you're like, oh fuck.
But so I kind of like the idea of like these B tier villains who have powers that are more in line with the Arkham universe, having to figure out, like, because it's obviously not just going to be like, oh, we're just going to go fight Superman. Like, I can see it being a structure where it's like every level is a different Justice League person, and every level is this kind of irreverent group of villains trying to figure out how the fuck are we supposed to take down Wonder Woman? How the fuck are we supposed to take down the Flash? Like, there's got to be a level in here where they take down Batman, right? There's got to be a level where the Suicide Squad fights Batman.
Is it part of, like, it says it's part of the Arkhamverse, so is it like in the middle of any of that stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, and like Joker's dead, so we know that we are not going to show up.
Yeah, and
he's not going to show up. So
Arkham Knight ends with everyone knowing who Batman is. So
yeah,
how's that going to play out?
So like, I totally understand. I think that both you and I think I saw John online. That
we're still. Like, I'm pretty annoyed by it.
Fuck evil Superman. I'm tired of evil Superman.
I am tired of evil Superman, to be honest.
But okay, so I want to ask this, and I don't want it to be like I'm coming at you or anything. But like, Injustice 2 is evil Superman. What other evil Supermans? Briefly in Justice League.
Well, there's Injustice, the fact that they make the Red Sun movie where he's somewhat evil.
Oh yeah.
There's the DC that's going on right now with the zombified guys right now. So there's an evil Superman in that.
Oh, in the comics.
Yeah, and then the evil Superman tends to pop up in like anything that's really popular, like whenever it's like an alternate reality here and there. And my biggest issue is that we've all been waiting for something Superman related in gaming for so long.
Right.
Because the last time we could use Superman in a game was Superman Returns, which was like a 360 game. What I mean, like as a Superman game is what I mean.
Like a Superman-focused video game.
Superman-focused video game. It was Superman Returns. The last time you get to use Superman himself as in a fighting game. And the last time even before that was like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance ripoff that was on the Xbox PS2 era. And so it's like, man, I just want to be Superman and save people. Like, I'm tired of like the game, like games being like, hey, you know what your favorite superhero? Fuck that guy, like consistently. And it's like, but I want to use him to do things, and that's my other. And even then, we also would like a normal Justice League game kind of thing, which also would be nice. But instead, they just keep making more Batman adjacent things or Batman related things. In all honesty, you know what? I mean, like, I want to be like super clear here. I think I would be in that exact same position. I feel like this entire podcast have a different tone if Harley Quinn season 1 and 2 didn't exist, because that has really enamored me. And I was trying to think, like, people seem to like Harley a lot before that, but
like in the movies, her first movie appearance was in Justice League, or was in Suicide Squad, right? That was Margot Robbie. It was the first time she showed up there. And like before that, she wasn't in that much visual media. She was in the comics. She was in the Arkham games.
She starts off in the cartoons.
Yeah.
And everybody likes her in that, but she's very much a side character.
Yes.
She gets some backstory
She's a little goofier.
Yeah, she gets some backstory stuff later on throughout the series, progressed, and then the Arkham series, happened, and the original voice actor eventually left after Arkham Asylum because she wasn't happy with the fact that they kept making her sexier.
Yeah,
I guess is a good way of putting it.
They really did.
They really did for a while, and then the comics tried turning her into Deadpool. Kind of thing. She was more like a
fourth wall breaking,
like I'm super silly and wacky, and her outfit got even like weirder looking. And so for a while, I hated Harley at one point because they were just like fucking up that character as much as they could. And then this show came out.
Yeah.
And it was like
really endeared me towards the character.
It focused on all the good stuff that had happened before that, like all the background, the fact that she is in fact a scientist, or not scientist,
psychologist.
Psychologist. She has a doctorate.
Right.
Prior to that, Injustice also did a good job making me like her a little more.
Oh, yeah. That part in 2 when, like, Shadow Joker shows up when she gets hit with the fear gas, it was just like, because the faces in Injustice were so well animated that, like, you really saw this kind of like look of fear, and it was just like, oh shit.
It made this like Injustice made this great endearing character because you realize Harley Quinn can be a great character.
Yeah,
like she can be a really good villain, but she can also be a really good anti-hero.
Right.
If you work on her traumas. And
if you treat her like a character,
like
and not a swear machine,
and
like they did in the Batman Harley Quinn movie, the animated movie.
Fuck that movie, by the way.
She was just like, I fart and I swear, I'm Harley Quinn.
I hated that. I still hate that movie with a passion. But then, the cartoon was like, well, what if we treated her as a character? And what if we treated everyone as a character, like a human being for the most part? And like my favorite thing about that show is the caricature characters are the superheroes.
Yeah.
Like Superman is this like caricature of himself. Same with Batman. Same with Damian. Hell, Jim Gordon is amazing in that show for all the wrong reasons.
He's so fucking bad.
Even Batgirl is this weird caricature of herself, but like every supervillain is like I could see myself hanging out with that person.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yep. So on all honesty, like this is like I said, this King Shark is in here. I don't think I would have as much like excitement for King Shark here or in Suicide Squad movie if it wasn't for King Shark in the fucking Harley Quinn show. So, and then you know what? They've kind of just battered me down with Captain Boomerang, where I'm like, no, okay, fine. Like he was one of the less irritating parts of the Suicide Squad movie.
Here's the thing. I've always liked Captain Boomerang because he's so fucking weird and he's such a stupid idea of a character that I've always been like, I want more weird Australian talking bad guy who throws boomerangs.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm willing to give this a shot. I mean, like, I definitely get where you're coming from. It would have been nice if somebody had put time and money into making a Superman game because nobody seems to know what the fuck to do with Superman anymore. So, we've got the Batman, we've got, Wonder Woman, but apparently we just don't have any idea what to do with Superman.
It's very frustrating. I wouldn't even mind if they did that Ultimate Alliance thing again with it.
Yeah.
What they did with, I think it was Justice League Heroes, I think was the name of it.
I mean, I don't know, though. Maybe maybe the first part of this is you got to snap Superman out of it, and then he's like somebody that you can talk to or something. I don't know. I don't know. It seems fun. It seems like it's probably okay to me. I'm actually way more interested in that than I am in Gotham Knights, which
I'm in a mixed bag with Gotham Knights.
Okay,
because I love the idea of a Batman game that involves the Bat family.
Right,
but they also kill Batman in the first 5 minutes of the trailer.
Right.
So, and then they also tell you that Jim Gordon's dead, and I'm just like, what? Like it's outright all those other guys. You might as well be telling us the A team is dead, and then you got to work with the B team. But they should never be the B team. It should just be. I was always hoping if you did a game like this that it would just be a Batman and everybody else game.
Yeah.
But instead they decided the easiest way to take that decision out of your hands is to straight up kill Batman.
Well, they have a precedent here, Michael, because in the Arkham games, every time anybody tries to help Batman, he's like, "Get out of here! Fuck off! Get out of here, Tim! I don't need help. Go, leave."
That was always my issue with the Arkham games. They're like, "Hey, it's that. What? No, you're shooing him away. Okay, fine."
Yeah, so this is actually okay. This is a single player game with potential for up to I think 2 or 3 people, 4 people co-op. We've got Nightwing, we've got Robin, we've got Batgirl, we've got Red Hood. Is it Red
Robin?
Hood? Robin.
Or which? Wait, hold on.
Who's the shooty guy?
Oh, that is Red Hood.
Red Hood.
That's just that I thought you were talking about Tim Drake's thing. I don't know. The Robin stuff is weird in comics right now.
Is that Robin Tim Drake in here? Okay.
They announced that's Tim Drake.
And it's basically like kind of an Arkham game, but it's a little bit more. You know what this is? This is a Joel Schumacher Arkham game. It's all like neon. It's got all these like bright colors and shit.
Yeah.
And so you can play as any one of them, and you can switch between them between missions. And they had a kind of a gameplay section showing that each character is going to have different powers, different move sets. They did say in a thing that I read that you can, you just play the entire game single player with one person if you want.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be way more RPG focused. In the actual gameplay walkthrough, they show like there's a part that just makes my heart sink where they're getting ready to fight people. And there's a goddamn number over the head of the person that you're fighting, where it's like, oh, they're level 20, and oh, fuck, man, come on.
Well,
did we really have to do that?
It works in like certain games. My issue is when you bring it into a game that was very focused on stealth, to begin with, and that's what this kind of game is, and that's what bothers me more than anything about that.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. One of the things that was kind of crazy is like apparently Robin can teleport because he's in Young Justice or whatever. He uses the Justice League, the Watchtower teleporter.
That's weird.
To teleport. And I kind of want to know how Red Hood plays in this game because he just has fucking guns.
That's how it plays. It's that thing where they're like, "You have my axe," and it's like, "I have guns."
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was meh about Arkham Origins, right? This is made by Warner Brothers Montreal, who made Origins. It looks like they're using the framework of basically the Batman franchise, the Arkham franchise.
Yes,
and then just kind of making it into a potentially 4-player. The thing that worries me is that the best 4-player games are games that are made to be played with 4 players, like Left 4 Dead or like Destiny or something like that, right? Whenever they're like, well, you can play it single player or you can play it with your buddies, and it's like that's never worked well. Like because the single player always feels like it's missing something, or it's completely redundant to play with other people. So.
Yeah, my issue with it is that since it's very much like a normal Arkham game.
Yeah,
the idea of multiplayering that sounds like it could go wrong very fast.
Yeah. The one thing that I do though like about it, I mean, even though this is not set in the Arkhamverse, is that from the end of the reveal trailer is that apparently this is the one where they were doing the whole Court of Owls thing, right?
Yes.
Which. Okay, I don't know anything about those guys, so it'd be nice to play a game that's not like Riddler, Scarecrow, Joker, or Bane, right? Like,
yeah, sure. The Court of Owls is probably one of the best new villains that were created during the New 52 era.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that they're going to start using them for stuff.
This gameplay walkthrough ends with a boss fight with Mr. Freeze. They do say that Mr. Freeze will have different moves depending on like what level you are. So like if you're a higher level, they'll literally have like more moves that you'll have to counter.
That's interesting.
Which
I see you're level 50, Batgirl. Let me pull out my grenades.
I don't know. This is one where like, you know what? I kind of enjoyed my time with like the Avengers game when I played it with the beta. So I'm not willing to just count this out just yet because if it's a decent enough single player story, a lot of people liked Origins a lot. You liked it.
I like Origins
just raise
a lot.
your hand. So
I like it a lot, actually.
So like this sets off a lot of the alarm bells, right? For people that play a lot of video games of like co-op. Oh my God, co-op.
I'm cautiously optimistic though, because I know a lot of people who are actually pretty excited about this because they're such fans of the side characters.
Yeah.
Of Batgirl, Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, Red Hood.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind if I can find like a group of people to play this with. I absolutely would be excited about it.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see what's going on. So, and that is pretty much all of the Warner Brothers news.
Not going to talk about the Flash season 7. I'm just kidding. No one cares about that.
No,
which is sad.
No, I'm not gonna talk about it. We also had a Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase. I don't know if you noticed, Michael, as it has become the thing with Nintendo, the upvote to downvote ratio of this YouTube video is like 60% upvote and like 40% downvote.
People are dumb. Stop it.
52K upvotes and 39K downvotes. This was a partner showcase. It was fucking 11 minutes long. It didn't show jack shit.
Every time with these people.
Just fucking, chill.
Are all the comments like Smash?
No, actually, when I went into the comments before, the comments were more like, when are you going to announce all that Mario shit that you're obviously going to be putting out this year?
I got it.
Like, what are you putting out in the back half of 2020, Nintendo? Like Pikmin 3. That's all we know.
Nice, yeah.
So, I'm going to roll down this list pretty quick because this is, wow, Pollo Loco has advertisements in my browser? That's weird. I didn't think they were a big enough chain. I'm going to roll down a lot of the stuff that's going here. This is not a lot. There's not going to be a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to roll on a list. Feel free to stop me if you have anything to say about any of this.
Sure.
That dumb Kingdom Hearts game with the music is coming to the Switch.
Hooray.
Melody of Memory. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is going to be a thing. There's going to be a new character and battle modes, blah, 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 blah. Just Dance 2021 as a November 12th release date.
Was it Isha Tyler the one who presented it?
Nope.
Watch me dance, and then she started dancing.
It was just like, oh no, we have Billie Eilish and Dua Lipa.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it was funny because I was trying to think like, I don't know that I can. I mean, like, unless things change dramatically, I don't think I can like ethically have the Rage Select dance party this year.
Oh geez, yeah.
So I was thinking,
how does that work?
If that's not the thing, do I make it like where I dance all the dances and then everybody I just have like one person on to do commentary while we watch the videos? So I was thinking I should buy Just Dance 2021 and then record like one dance a week, and then I'll have it all built up, and then I'll be like super buff. No, one dance a week. That's enough. Okay. That's enough. World of Tanks Blitz is available on the Switch. You get World of Tanks on the Blitz on the Switch. They had a trailer for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which apparently is a mess, but I just read that somewhere.
Sure, why not?
There's a game that they show called Big Boxing Rumble Creed Champions, which I can't tell whether Big Boxing Rumble is a separate franchise that they have grafted, like, because like Creed and Rocky and Drago and Crusher.
Oh yes, fighting guys. I was thinking of the band Creed.
No, not that Creed.
Will you take me higher? And whatnot.
Yeah. So it's like a boxing game, basically, like a side, like in the side, and it looks really cheap, like a really big kind of cash in. One of the ones that was interesting was this game called Taiku no Tatsujin, which is a game like a feudal Japanese game where you play as like a taiko drum. And so it's like an RPG, but when you get in the battles, you have to do like a little rhythm section at the bottom with the drum to fight, which actually, that was the one that looked kind of interesting. I don't know if it had previously been announced that Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions, that anime soccer game that's out.
I think it's crazy that that's even a thing.
Is coming out on October 28th. They did a brief trailer for the Minecraft Dungeons Creeping Winter DLC that's coming out soon. They announced Jump Force is going to be on the Switch.
Hooray! Question mark?
DLC. They had another trailer for Fuser, which is that Harmonix remix game. Where they showed like multiplayer for that, where it's like everybody takes turns and then you vote on who had the best mix. And then probably the only thing that was kind of a big new thing was that they're putting out the first 3 Final Fantasy Saga games, which were Final Fantasy Quest, I believe.
I have no idea.
On the Game Boy. So it's like a Game Boy emulated one.
I forgot those existed.
Yeah, they're putting out basically a pack that has all 3 of those. And it's got stuff like time skip, and apparently there's like some one new track that's been composed for those.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it still looks like a fucking Game Boy game. So
it happens.
And that's it. That's it. That's all there was. It's kind of a nothing burger. Like a lot of release dates.
What's that last thing that it mentions?
This?
The Harmonix?
Oh, that was the Fuser. We talked about
that's
that
right. Sorry.
No.
That's
so yeah.
bad.
that might be why people are mad, because they're just like, God damn it, I want to know about things. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is that if this was a Nintendo Direct, if the title of this video was Nintendo Direct August 2020, I would be like, boo, Nintendo, boo. But they didn't. It's the fucking mini partner showcase.
That seems to be the norm lately, though. Like, the big three companies have been very secretive about their stuff this year. The fact that we barely found out about Call of Duty is surprising.
Indeed. We did indeed find out about Call of Duty. Thank you, Michael. That was the transition I was looking for, because we finally got the full trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Dumb name. Dumb name. You can have Call of Duty Cold War or Call of Duty Black Ops 4, but not Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. You can't have two colons in the name of your fucking video game.
Isn't this like 5 or something?
This would be Black Ops 5.
I think it'd be 5, right?
Was 4 the hero shooter?
I think so, because I remember them thinking that because they made like a shield out of the 4, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
People being like annoyed by that.
Okay.
Instead of making it like a Roman numeral 4.
Because 3 was the hero shooter a Black Ops game?
I think so.
Okay, because the one before that was the one where you had the nano powers and it was garbage. And I didn't even finish the campaign because it was stupid.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that was.
And the Black Ops 2 was like the good one.
Yes.
And the Black Ops 1 was also garbage. Come at me. Come directly at me. Fuck that game.
I like the first one fine.
That's what Treyarch was making them, and they were garbage. And this looks like garbage. I can't get excited for this. Like, I hate.
You're not excited about CGI Ronald Reagan?
Like, man.
Reaganomics, they yell as they shoot.
You know, like, I've said it before, and I will say it again. The 80s do not excite me, Michael. They were a bad time, and I didn't like them.
There should be a mini game where you're selling cocaine to pay off Iran with General North.
You got to do a fucking mission with Ollie North.
Ollie North.
If I remember correctly, though, the original Black Ops, wasn't that the one where like the Russian guy like mind controls you?
Yes.
Like, you were the bad guy the entire time, and like the zombies mode was what? Castro, Nixon, Reagan, and like Henry Kissinger fight
Something
off
like
the
that.
zombies. It's
been a while.
God, fuck that game so much. It was like Ed Harris was the guy, was the like your handler.
It's been a long time.
And it had like what's his name? I looked it up last week. I forgot already. It was like Whitey McWhiterson.
CGI Ronald Reagan creeps me out. I'm sorry.
Was it Joel Kinnaman or something like that?
Also, this is speaking of Wonder Woman. Last time, this trailer also uses Blue Monday.
Oh.
As its song, like the first Wonder Woman trailer did.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they start with like what? They start off with what are those?
The stereotypical
fucking nom ones.
It's the gag that I always remember from, I think it was Family Guy or something.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, oh, every time I hear that song, it's my first thought because that's all they fucking played on the helicopters in Nam.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I kind of hate the fact that with Call of Duty has gotten to the point where Call of Duty is remaking itself. That's where I don't like this, right? Like,
I don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore, to be honest.
I mean, like, you know,
also the dude with the Robert Redford ass hair.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking spy game.
It's very strange.
Spy game.
But he's like the only one that looks like that.
Yeah.
So it looks really out of place compared to everyone else.
He looks like he's from the 80s. Everybody else, like, somebody needs to send a memo that there were not this many beards in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, in the 80s, beards were for hippies from the 70s. Like, fucking Pentagon operators all had, like, bad mustaches and, you know, shit.
That's the thing. Like, they look at the room with the characters, and one guy looks like he's from the 80s, and everyone else looks like they're from a Call of Duty game.
Everybody else looks like they're from that Medal of Honor operator game.
Absolutely.
Whatever. Like
nobody looks like they would have probably looked like at this point.
Yeah.
Unless they were behind enemy territory for that long.
Maybe I should just put this into Adobe Premiere and turn the fucking contrast down and see if
also
that's
it's hard to see.
It's just everything that's from the 80s. I'm like, God damn, you guys got the contrast all jacked up. Yeah, also Ronnie Reagan is in there, and fucking virtual Ronald Reagan is in there.
My favorite
great
meme I saw was a picture of him and it said press F to sell to Iran.
God. I don't know, man. I don't know. This just didn't do a lot. Okay, you know what? Actually, that's not true, because there was actually some other things that they talked about this week. Apparently, you can create your own character, which is, in my opinion, a really bad thing, because it means your character is not going to have any dialogue. You're just going to be
one of those.
Gordon Freeman, right? And then apparently it's going to have the branching story paths, kind of like 2 did.
Okay.
Which I could actually get behind that.
That could be neat.
I thought that was a cool thing. I didn't know I didn't know they were going to be doing that. So but then there was the bad part. So
what's the bad news?
Let's see. Where would you like to start? Console exclusivity or price?
Yes.
Okay. So it appears that they in the trailer, at the end of the trailer, they said, they still have their deal with Sony, so the beta is going to be coming for pre-orders on the PlayStation 4 first, and then the Xbox. However, this time around, only digital will get into the beta. So it used to be that if you pre-ordered a physical copy, like you would go to GameStop and pick up your pass, and that would let you in there. You take it home, enter it in.
They give you a code somewhere, email it to you.
This time, it's only digital. Only if you have digital will you be able to get into the beta.
That's weird.
It is weird. And then also, this game is $70 on next-gen systems.
Are you serious?
Yep. This is full-on NBA 2K21 territory. This game is $70. The whole how much this game costs is fucked up because it's $60 for PS4 and Xbox One. There's going to be a path, or if you give them $10, you can upgrade to the other ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I think there's going to be one of those $80 collector's editions that gets you an automatic upgrade type of thing. Somebody
really wants to make $70 the new norm.
Yep. Apparently, though, on the PS4, okay. This is why it's so complicated. On the PS4, if you have okay, you can upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 regardless of what edition you buy, but you will have to put the disc into the PS5 from the PS4 for it to validate.
That makes sense.
The Xbox One apparently will not upgrade via disc. You can only upgrade a digital copy to the Xbox Series X.
Okay, so that is fucked up.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird shit going on here. And you know what? I'm going to say the same thing I said before. If you think that the market will pay $70 for Call of Duty, you can bring it on. I mean, I'm not happy about it, right?
But I'm not happy about it either, but if that's what the market can handle, then I'm just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that if people don't buy the game, then they will, if they see a 30% loss in sales, then they will probably get the message and put it back down to $60. But if this is a Modern Warfare 2 thing where everybody's rabble, but then everybody goes out and buys it anyway, well, Activision doesn't care if you hate them as long as you buy the game. That's
money talks, guys.
That's a question. Which obviously doesn't do a lot to enhance my what's that when you like a thing? Anticipation of Call of Duty Black Ops.
Does it have a Reaganomics edition?
I don't. Was that where you pay twice as much? Where rich people only have to pay $20 for it, and then they're going to take the money that they would have spent for the upgrade, and they're going to use that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to trickle that down to us. They're going to buy DLC. They're going to pay it forward to us. I made both an 80s and 90s reference in there. So yeah, Call of Duty. Also, yep. Zombies mode. They're also going to have zombies mode.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't one in the last one. Was there?
I believe the last one was
something else. I think.
The last one was Modern Warfare. That led to Warzone, I believe, right? That was
I think that was the side thing.
The Warzone. I know it didn't have zombies because I never played it. I mean, it had regular adversarial multiplayer.
Yeah, we did zombies in the one prior to that, I think.
Yeah, the one before that was World War II.
I think so.
I think that had zombies in it.
One of them had zombies. I remember it being a big deal that one of them didn't have zombies. So I think this is the first time they brought it back.
Yeah. So yeah, you got zombies. You got zombies back. No word yet on whether you can play as Dick Nixon. Shoots fucking zombies. Yeah. All right. We are now officially running over time, so let's...
That happens with us all the time.
Yeah. Well, this week I didn't expect us to go for so long on Warner Brothers, but when you get you and me in a room and we start talking about DC...
When it comes to anything we do on this podcast...
then Steven Seagal comes up, and we got 10 minutes about Under Siege.
We spent 10 minutes trying to make sure that Under Siege that we got it right.
I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out whose boobs I saw when I was 10 and I watched Under Siege. So
we should watch Under Siege.
No, dude, no. I am watching, after you leave, I am watching fucking Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then tomorrow I'm watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and then after that I'm going to sit down with fucking 100 beers and watch Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh, yeah,
I'm having the fucking Bill and Ted-a-thon over the next couple of days.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yesterday, Michael actually tipped me off to this story because we were sitting here recording, and his phone came up, and he was like, "Hey, I've been invited to buy a PlayStation 5." And I was like, "What, you son of a bitch!" And I started strangling him, and he was
yeah, but that's not actually what I said, which is why he stopped strangling me.
Yes. So Sony is like sending out PlayStation, or is sending out like it's unclear what is going on here.
So this is what they're doing
to pre-order.
It's there's a site where you give them your PlayStation ID, and they look over what you've done, and then decide if they're going to send you an invite to maybe get a PlayStation 5.
Right.
And I do mean maybe, because it outright says, hey, by the way, even if we send you one of these, there's no guarantee you're actually going to get one. So good luck is basically what it says.
Right.
It also gave like a list of like, hey, here's what we're going to have on there. There's going to be limits to them. They're the consoles, either the physical disc one or the digital one that doesn't have a disc drive.
Yeah.
Or the accessories that they're going to have. But they're all going to be limited to one per your ID.
You can buy another controller. And you can obviously purchase the camera.
Yeah, because they showed all the other stuff like the camera, with the remote. Was there a headset? I think
a remote headset as well. But the question is, did you go to that website and sign up before yesterday, or did you just get that because that's your email address that signed up for the PlayStation Network?
That was no, that was my email. That because I went to their site and they have a please tell me when anything happens thing.
Okay,
and then so they sent me that. And then I guess other people discovered it, and then that's what this is.
Fucking sons of bitches, man! I need one of these PlayStations. I don't know. Like I'm so sick of it. Like I don't. If I had a choice, I may wait for the second. Well, no, that's not true. Let's just be clear. I'm sick of waiting for the PlayStation 5.
No, we're all sick of waiting for the PlayStation 5.
I want to buy one.
We all have some kind of money that's literally in case of PlayStation 5 break glass.
Right.
And they haven't said anything, and I'm just sitting here going, come on.
So with the little mallet in your hand to break the glass, you're just
waiting for it.
Already.
Like, the hardest thing is I'm a giant nerd, so I'm also like seeing like, hey, here's Doomsday Clock. Like pre-order right now, and I'm just like,
my fucking TV broke. I need a new TV.
Yeah.
Like
Jeff's TV busted.
I need a new goddamn
I need to get
TV.
an oil change.
Yeah, we got to get on with our lives. PlayStation, don't toy with me, PlayStation.
Yes, let me waste my money so I can make sure I didn't waste my money.
Yeah. So yeah, you can apparently go to this website, put in your thing, and then maybe I don't know. If I don't get an invite to pre-order, then I don't know what criteria they're using.
I don't know either.
It's fucking 600 PlayStation games on my account.
You've bought in all of the games, basically.
Yeah, like every one of them. Like whether it's digital or physical, like most of the third-tier games and all of the first-tier games. I've even bought games that you got. I've bought games you've never even seen on the Rage Select before.
It's true.
I've repurchased games I have a physical copy of because I got tired of asking somebody to bring me back the disc for it.
Having the control with Control.
It has. Like, Sony can look at my account and be like, this motherfucker bought Control twice.
Motherfucker's crazy.
Why? Why did he buy Control twice? Why did he buy... Why does he keep buying games twice? I see here he put the disc in, and then we put it on sale for $15, and he just gave us another $15? We got to get this guy a PlayStation 5 so he buys 500 more games from us.
Did you end up buying Spider-Man that way? You were talking about doing that because you were too lazy to get up to put the disc in.
Yeah. No, I did. I bought Control. Michael. I bought Control on a disc when it came out. Then I loaned that disc out, and the DLC, the Formation DLC came out. So
yeah,
it went
I was
on
the one
sale.
who borrowed the disc, by the way, which is why I know this.
So I bought it digitally on my PlayStation 4. Then I deleted my PlayStation 4 account, and so I bought it on the Xbox One so that we could start playing the DLC when it came out. And then I realized that I did that 4 days before the $40. I paid the full like $80 collector's edition 4 days before the $40 you can upgrade, and I reported on that news.
Oh my god.
You guys, Sony, Come on.
Wait, is the Ultimate Edition out already?
Yeah, came out today.
I'm gonna have to take care of that later.
$40. It's got all the DLCs and it upgrades to the new gens.
Score one for Michael.
Yep. Well, the thing was, I couldn't wait until today. Well, I could have, but I needed to play all the way through it.
Oh.
And again, because I lost my save game.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
It happens.
I am about to buy a copy of Ghost of Tsushima when I get the next time I get paid, just so I can loan it out to people who want to play it. Like, like I have that digitally. I'm going to buy it again. Like, come on, Sony, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break now. Now that I've told you all how much money I spend on video games, trust me, it's not like I do this for a lot of games. I only do it for like the top 1% of games.
He's done it for a handful of them at most.
Yeah, and when I do buy a game for the second time, because I don't want it to sound. You said that I bought Spider-Man because I didn't want to get up and get the disc.
That's literally what you told me,
right? But it was like $20 for the like collector's edition. Like it was on sale, super cheap. So,
yes, it was.
And that means that I can like loan Spider-Man to people without having to be like, when the fuck is the next thing coming out? So. Anyway, with that, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about more news because we only got about halfway through the news.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch of tabs left open on my Opera browser. So we're going to do all those, and then we'll try to fit in. We will fit in one question at the very least.
We got one.
At the very least. Yeah, we still have more news, Michael. So,
dun, dun, dun.
Yep, we're going to get through all this news, and then we're going to see about doing some questions. So let's get right back into it. I had a whole transition set up here, but we'll
I'm
just
sure
start
it's
out.
fine.
Yep. We got some more kind of rumblings about the idea that next year we might be getting a new Switch version.
A third one?
Yeah, basically an upgraded version of the existing Switch that is able to do 4K and has like a slightly better processor in it.
By 4K, do we mean like on a TV or
yes.
just within itself?
No. Yeah, 4K on 4K on the TV when it's in the docked mode.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah, this is a story out of Taiwan, basically. I actually think that this would be a really good move for Nintendo because, I mean, you know, Nintendo is obviously scratching a different itch than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are, but we are kind of moving into an era where, like, 4K is the norm. So having, like, one device that can't do 4K...
yeah, 1080p isn't as exciting to anybody the way it used to be.
Yes. Also, I feel like if they were to put out a Switch that had a slightly better hardware, I feel like they could get some of those games like The Witcher, some of those ones that kind of run poorly and have a real graphical downgrade. They could maybe get those looking a little bit more in parity with like, you know, early PS4, Xbox One era,
which would be cool. Like they're trying, to be honest. Like they have what, the Wolfenstein, some of the Wolfensteins on there.
Yep.
As well as Doom.
Doom is on there.
Doom
yeah.
Doom Eternal.
So I don't know. I think it would be a really good use of.
I think it's a good move.
I think it'd be good. Yeah. Also, you know, you could make that Switch like a third again as thick, and it would still fit in. It'd still be very portable and fit in my pocket.
Oh,
if you just needed to like shove a bunch more. I don't know how computers work. You just shove more microchips in, right?
You just download more RAM.
To put more RAM in. Yeah. You just you crack open the back of the case and you just shove loose RAM inside of it, and then it's got more RAM. Runs in 4K, right? That's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shove Nintendo cartridges into it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What if they made a new Switch that was compatible with NES?
That would be amazing. I'd buy the shit of that fucking thing.
Freaking incredible.
It'd be fucking huge, but I'd buy the shit of that thing.
Yep. Let's see. From there, we got some Microsoft news where Microsoft filed a brief in support of Epic. We're going back to the Epic versus Apple story that's been happening recently. Basically, Phil Spencer put out a tweet that said they put out a statement basically saying that like if Apple shuts down the entirety of the Unreal Engine SDK on their devices, like that's going to hurt a lot of indie developers.
It hurts a lot of people.
Like like you aren't just going to be striking back at Epic here. Like you're going to be catching up like a shitload of smaller developers in your crossfire that were looking to develop stuff either for the iOS, for your iPhones, or just for Mac devices.
Yeah.
That if you just cut off support for that, you are going to be like really damaging that part of your potential industry. I was actually looking up. Have you and I talked about where do you stand on the Apple versus Epic thing?
We have not actually.
Okay. Where do you stand on the Apple versus Epic thing?
I'm on Epic side, but that's more because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because it's not like, well, I'm not saying that Epic is my enemy per se. I'm saying that like Epic is still a giant corporation who has all the money, but they don't have all the money compared to Apple.
Yeah, I actually looked it up, and I think that the Epic is worth something like $85 billion, and Apple is worth something like $2 trillion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's still like it's not the little guy,
right?
But it's the closest you're going to get in this situation.
Yeah,
and I think it's Apple is really shooting themselves in the foot over and over again in the PR way, because this looks more like an attack on children because of the Fortnite part than it does on Epic itself.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing, right? Is because Google kicked them off of their store too, but you could still go just directly download the SDK and install it on an Android phone, whereas with Apple you can't. And there was a story I even cut last week where it was like people on eBay are selling like iPhones that have Fortnite on them for like $1,000.
That's batshit insane.
And it's like,
sounds right,
guys. If you ever hit the update button ever, like it's gone.
It's just fucked. You're done.
So we also had some other stuff last week where apparently Apple, in one of their filings in court, basically said that Tim Sweeney and Epic approached Apple and asked them essentially for a sweetheart deal to waive parts of the cost of the that they take from the store for Epic directly. This is so fascinating to me. And then like Tim Sweeney went on Apple and was like, if you actually read the email that's in that brief, you will see that like after we asked for that, there's a part where they say, and we think that if this works, you should extend this to every other developer on the App Store in order to level the playing field for blah, blah, blah. And it's just like Apple out here I know there's got to be some people out there that disagree. I don't know if they've thumbs down or whatever, but like I fucking hate Apple.
I'm not a fan of them.
They are an arrogant company that, like, in my opinion, overcharges out the asshole for what they're actually giving people. Like, for the services that they are providing, they overcharge like a motherfucker because they've got this weird brand loyalty. Like, nobody's brand loyal to Windows. Everybody fucking hates Windows.
Well, that's the thing, is that it used to be somewhat brand loyalty to Windows.
Yeah.
Because it was the only real thing at the time.
Yeah.
Apple was sort of in the background, and then Steve Jobs, with his arrogant ass, showed up and injected all the arrogance as he could into this company. And now they consider themselves the big boys of anything. And so it continued on even after he died. Yep. And it keeps going. And eventually, it may end up falling eventually, but because, they really do rely on their brand loyalty nowadays. Yeah. 'Cause every time they announce a new iPhone, they're like, well, what does it do? iPhone. Like, they just sort of like keep saying it. It's like, well, that's not anything.
We took the headphone jack off, so you have to buy AirPods.
Exactly. And then their other thing is like, hey, we introduced this new feature. And it's like, but Android's been doing that for 10 years. It's like, we introduced this new feature. Like, just shit like that. Like, like people are slowly starting to realize what they are, because the brand loyalty people now is closer to my generation, I guess, my age bracket.
Yeah.
And now the younger people are seeing that as they get older, and then they're like, wait, none of this makes any sense.
Yeah.
And with Fortnite, that's them basically directly attacking that section of their age group.
I said I said it on the last podcast, and I will say it again. Like, the thing is that I used to repair laptops for a living, and if you like, every single manufacturer on the planet in those days, we're talking about, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they build their laptop like a sandwich, right? You got the plastics on the bottom, you got the motherboard, you usually got like RAM and shit like that. You put on a bezel over the top of that, then a keyboard, and then the screen is on the top, right?
Yeah.
And Apple like for most places, like I could disassemble a HP laptop. Like at the height of my powers, in like 20 minutes, I could have the motherboard out of that thing. Like it was just like bam, 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 done, right? Because I knew how they all fit together. And then you go to open up an Apple, and like they were so goddamn over-designed. Like everything on the inside was like woven into each other and put together in a way to make it like excessively complex, where it's like the motherboard was separated into a bunch of different pieces. Like in order to get like there were a lot of laptops where it's like you just take one screw out and then just rip the CD drive right out of the side of the thing. You just put another one in.
Yeah.
Hey, $30. There you go. I fixed your computer. Whereas with Apple, it's like you had to tear it down to the motherboard to get the CD drive out of it, and there were like 100 fragile cables in there. And the thing is that they didn't run like significantly faster.
Yeah.
They just cost twice as much. And if you ever tried to repair them on your own, you got fucked. Like every goddamn screen on a laptop, you like take out these screws, you take out that piece of plastic that's around the edge of the screen, and then it's like you take the screen out and you put a new screen in. And Apple did this thing where they used this adhesive to put this bezel on the front, where you literally have to spend like 40 minutes with a heat gun melting the glue and slowly trying to pry this piece of glass off the front of it, that if you even just moved it 2 millimeters too far, it would crack. And then you'd have to order a new piece of glass from Apple, and it would cost like $200 for a piece of glass. And it was just like, why?
That's the thing, is Apple's been very anti-consumer for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as like, hey, they're not selling you things. It's that they will look at something and be like, how can we make this impossible for a person to fix?
Right.
And so they have to get a new one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like him. I'm glad that Epic is taking him on. Like I said last time, I do not think of Epic as I don't think of any corporation as my friend.
No, they're not my friend.
I have no loyalty to Epic.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Epic is disruptive, right? That they are fucking with Steam, that they're fucking with Apple, they're fucking with these companies.
It's great. I'm really happy they have fuck you money. It's right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
because they're doing full on with great power comes great responsibility with some of this stuff.
Yes,
and I'm happy about that. Sure, they're still trying to get money off of people, but
yeah,
at least they're trying.
Yes. We also had another update where they so when Apple kicked them off of the iOS store. And then was going to kick them out of the SDK. They immediately had an injunction lawsuit that they brought in. There was actually a ruling on that this week where, well, it had to be, right, because of the injunction status, right?
Yeah.
It could just like lay around. This is District Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers basically said, yes, you can take Fortnite off the store. No, you can't revoke developer access for Unreal Engine on iOS platforms. So
that's a good ruling, though.
Yeah. So basically, they're going to have to like go to court to figure out the Fortnite thing. I wonder whether this is going to hurt their sales with because here's the thing. 8-year-olds don't give a fuck about
not really.
the platform. They want to play Fortnite. They will do anything to play Fortnite. So
it's true.
Like they don't give a fuck if the iOS architecture is more consolidated than the sprawling Google store, right? They don't give a fuck. They don't want to play Fortnite, right? And then you got a bunch of moms with a bunch of pissed off kids that are in quarantine who can't go to school, and all they have is Fortnite. Like, this couldn't have happened at a worse time.
It's a really bad time. I think that's why they made the move, though.
Yeah.
I think it's because they feel like this is the best chance they have.
Yeah.
They can squeeze them as best as they can at this point.
Oh, man. I don't know. I really hope that they manage to get around this. And like,
Also, it's a power move to make that fucking commercial.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then to have the whole weekend where like the bad guy was the black and white Apple head guy.
It was such a fucking outstanding move is all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I do want to make it clear that like, one, I don't think that Apple should not get any money. On the other hand, I'm not going to sit here and say that because they built a storefront that they deserve to take a third of everything that comes through their storefront. Like,
it's insane.
I think that's crazy talk.
That's
like
a lot. It would be like hell if it was like 15%. They probably wouldn't be as upset with it.
Yeah,
but a third.
Yeah. It's insane. It is insane, and I disagree with that. Like I don't think that Apple should make no money.
It's basically extortion.
But I also don't think that they should make the money that they're making. It's the same way with Steam, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that Steam should take as big a chunk just for fucking having this broken, janky, fucking 1997 ass app that you have to install that just happens to be where all your games are. So anyway, let's see. Speaking of horrible lawsuits and things that happened last week, Skullgirls and Lab Zero blew up last week.
Oh shit, what happened?
So apparently the head developer of Lab Zero, Mike Z. Zymont, apparently has just been like this terrible shithead for years and years and years, like making sexual comments about people and just being kind of shitty and, just kind of having an unpleasant work environment. And basically everybody at Lab Zero quit last week.
Oh my God.
Leaving him there kind of by himself. And they just said, like, we don't want to put up with this anymore. We're not a fan of this. Like, we're all going to fucking take our shit and leave. So, yeah, that all happened. And then the strangest thing, this is the weird part, that part wouldn't have been super weird, but apparently the publisher of Skullgirls, who is Hidden Variable Studios, intellectual property holder Autumn Games, and then the Skullgirls mobile developer Hidden Variable Studios released a joint statement saying that they would be more than happy to continue working with all the people who quit to do content updates for Skullgirls as the IP holder, independent of Lab Zero, the company that literally made the video game.
Oh, wow.
Which is a real weird move, man.
It's an interesting move.
Yeah.
Because if they have the rights, then they can just tell the developer to go fuck themselves,
right? And
be like, "Hey, we'll let you be your own team if you want to."
Right?
We're excited about that. And it's like, "Fuck, really? That's crazy as shit."
Yeah, it's kind of like when Take-Two canned. What was that? The people that were making Kerbal Space Program 2,
that's right,
and then reformed with, what was that? Recapture Studios or whatever it was called.
Except this isn't like
this
a good.
This
is a good version of that.
Yeah,
and I hope they do that because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
and they should just name it something to tell him to fuck himself in some way.
Like Fuck Mike Studios.
Yes, it's the FM Studios. That they'll never tell anybody exactly what it stands for. It's like, does it stand for Fuck Mike Studios? No, it's like fighting something studio. What about? Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was an interesting thing that happened last week.
That's amazing.
I saw Skullgirls or Lab Zero was trending on Twitter, and then I looked at it, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Apparently, it was a thing that a lot of people knew about, but
that's the issue with these things. A lot of people know about them until it explodes.
Yeah.
And they really should stop doing that.
Apparently, like the stories that I was hearing was this guy was like a real shithead. He would also then he'd be very magnanimous to try to like make up for being a shithead, but everyone's
like John K. basically.
Yeah, like no,
probably not as rapey, but still,
no.
John K. is a crazy person.
Yeah, John K. sucks balls. From there, we have another horrible thing. The Sinking City has been delisted from a bunch of platforms. This is very strange.
What happened this one?
So, The Sinking City was the Cthulhu game with the crazy monkey man that we played that was great. It was made by Frogwares, and basically the publisher, Nacon, owes them about €1 million worth of royalties that they haven't paid.
Oh my God.
And then also apparently Nacon, when they were doing marketing for it, kind of tweaked the marketing to make it look like it was made by them and not Frogwares.
Oh, Jesus.
So Frogwares basically said, okay, they took them to court. They delisted it. You can apparently still get it on the Switch, and you can buy it from their store specifically. Sinking City is a weird game. I don't know if I would fully recommend it, but if you want to support a developer, go buy a copy from Frogwares directly. I've only bought Sinking City once, so maybe I should go buy a
No, I think we're good. It's not like PT. It's not really worth it.
But yeah, don't stop it. Cut it out. Stop being shitty, you guys. God,
swear.
Go fuck yourself.
Game development has turned into such a cesspool of insanity.
It really, really has. Let's see. From there, we have some trailers. We got a teaser trailer for Lord of the Rings Gollum. Hey, remember that's a thing that's being made? Daedalic Entertainment is making it, like the guys that made the Talos Principle and a bunch of other crazy kind of narrative games.
Sure.
There's not a lot going on in this trailer.
No, not really.
It's mostly just kind of Gollum like rolling around.
Just a cave,
doing
some shadows.
Doing his Gollum thing, eating some fish heads.
Gollum shows up. He's like, I'm Alfred now. And then that's the whole thing.
And then like you see the Mount Doom is blowing up and Eye of Sauron is there. And I'm like, does anybody care about Lord of the Rings anymore?
I keep hearing Mount Doom and I keep thinking I hear you saying Mountain Dew. And
then he goes to Mountain Dew, Code Red.
Like he looks up and a giant thing of green flies out of the volcano.
Yep. Does anybody care about Lord of the Rings anymore?
There are some people. There's dozens of them.
Because I feel like The Hobbit fucked over the movie thing that we don't care anymore.
It did.
And then Shadow of War fucked over the games that we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, but Gollum has been in development for like 5 years. It's like, does anybody want to know the Gollum story?
Well, even when they announced Gollum, I was like, well, that sounds... What the fuck did you do with that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, it might be a puzzle game. Well, that sounds boring as shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that. Let's see. From there, we had a trailer for Warframe Heart of Deimos is out this week. This is a really interesting thing. There's a new planet. There's like a flesh planet. There's a bunch of new, I think there's like one new frame. This is a pretty cool trailer. I got to get back into Warframe and see what's going on because there was like a hoverboard in the last update and they put in that ship-to-ship combat, like flying through outer space, fucking rolling into a ship thing. Like, guys, Warframe is pretty cool and it's still free, right? Like, you can still just go download Warframe for free. This new planet looks kind of interesting. It's got some weird, I mean, all of Warframe looks goddamn weird, but
yeah, absolutely.
It's got this very like kind of fleshy tone to it. A bunch of like kind of bio stuff. Apparently you can do a kickflip off of a dragonfly. That's all pretty cool. Yeah, so it's worth checking out. Let's see. We also got a trailer for Nor, which is a upcoming PlayStation 5 game that's all about just like fucking around with food.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah, where it's like just these weird like little vignettes with food in them, and then you just throw food at food and use physics on food, and like it's got a kind of a groovy soundtrack. And like they said in their press release that one of the things they did, they like wanted this to be an homage to like Instagram food and like food in anime, and like anytime that food looks really, really good.
That's actually kind of an interesting thing to do if that's the case.
Yeah.
It explains a lot.
It looks very surreal. Like I can't really tell. Like, you just fucking around? Is that the whole point of this? Is just like fuck around?
That's the thing. When you told me it was a PS5 game, I'm like, I think that's what it was designed for. It was designed to show off the things the PS5 can do.
Yeah,
with its like processing power,
like physics engine.
Like it explains why it's it looks so simple as it does. Like Flower.
Yeah,
when that came out, and Journey and all those things.
That, like Rubber Duck Adventure.
Exactly
on the PS3. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be fun to fuck around with for. I guess the question is, Michael, as a consumer, how much would you pay for this PlayStation 5 game?
Like $5 most.
Yeah.
At most.
What if it was like, it's PS5 launch, and there's not a lot of games out, and you're on Christmas break, and it's like $8?
I may be, actually.
Yeah.
$8, I may do it.
It also reminds me a little bit of Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Of just kind of like a bunch of weird abstract shit flying around in circles.
Like it looks like you could get high as fuck and just fuck around.
The question is, what is the game? How do I get points? How do I win this? Or is it just like, no, man, you just fucking just do whatever you feel like?
It might be one of those, to be honest.
With food. And I'm like, okay, not interested. Bye-bye. I am more interested in Cobra Kai, the official game. Even though this game, I like Cobra Kai a lot. This game looks a little poopy, though.
Yeah, speaking of, I don't know if the video's out yet, but the Netflix games.
Oh, that's a Patreon video that we did for Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, so we were talking about that. If anyone doesn't have Patreon, that we were talking about how Netflix seems to be making a bunch of random ass games.
Yeah,
and I think I like the idea of them doing a beat 'em up for Cobra Kai, but it still looks janky as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a mobile game, right, or like a budget title.
It might have been, to be honest.
I don't know.
I still haven't seen the show. So,
well, what's so weird about the show is that it's like the first season was that YouTube original thing, and then they made a second season, but now Netflix has bought it, so it's going to be on Netflix at the beginning of next month.
I think they're doing a third season.
Yeah, there's a third season. And I'm like, I really liked the first season. I thought it was really, really good. But
I heard amazing things about the show, and they put more of Ralph Macchio in the second season.
I didn't want more Ralph Macchio. I wanted more fucking. Well, it
adds a more rival. Like it adds a rival. Like I want to say gang because it's not really a gang.
Sure,
it's just a rival dojo to his return of Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
and I think that's fascinating what they've done with it.
Yeah,
because Karate Kid wasn't exactly like the most serious thing on the world, but then this thing came out, and you're like, oh shit.
At least you know what? At least I think it's funny that they made a competent show based on some internet bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with the internet was like, actually, we're going to think about it. Daniel LaRusso's the real bad guy here. And then that got put into How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, well, let's make the Billy Zabka is a horrible piece of shit. And so he gets together all the horrible piece of shit kids and starts up Cobra Kai again. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure I'm down with that.
Yeah, let's do this shit.
You know what the only other piece of media before that, though?
What?
Did you ever see... There was a band called No More Kings that had a song called Sweep the Leg, and they had a music video that had Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio in it. And it was like the whole thing was set in like Billy Zabka and all the old Cobra Kai dudes like live in a trailer out in the desert and they're all losers. And then it was just this like weird rock and roll song about sweeping the leg.
I had no idea. Well, I knew about the song, but I didn't know the video was a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
That's amazing.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
Good for them.
You guys should go watch it. It's almost like a prequel to Cobra Kai in a weird way. And it was before I think it was the put him in a body bag guy died, right? Like, didn't he die like 3 or 4 years ago?
The guy who's the leader?
No, the bald guy that says, put him in a body bag.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. He died not that long ago. Yeah.
So he's in there. He actually has like a line in the song.
That's interesting.
Watch it at some point. Anyway, at least it's not a turn-based strategy game. That's all I can say. Everything else they've made. Of course, that Peaky Blinders game was pretty good. I just was missing the part where I gave a shit about Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I was
scared. Yeah. We also got a trailer for Amanda's new favorite game, Paparazzi, which is basically just Pokemon Snap, but you're taking pictures of dogs.
There should be like a Frank West mode, though.
Yeah.
Where you walk up to a dog and be like, I've covered wars, you know.
Where's war dogs?
Yeah,
dogs
exactly.
War?
You just walk up to a dog, pet it, and every time he does, he just goes, I've covered wars, you know.
It's weird that apparently from this trailer, the dogs don't even like really fully animate. They all just kind of bounce around. Like
it is definitely like something that looks like...
It looks like an itch.io game, right? That costs $8 or something.
That's a fun idea, though.
Yeah,
people like to do calming little things. So
it reminds me, there was a game that we've never actually played that was on itch.io. That was it was like taking pictures of birds with like it was like a super low res pixelated, like taking pictures of birds with a. An instant camera game that I think I downloaded, but we've never actually played because I was like, man, if we get really hard up, we're gonna play that fucking bird game. Then I got my PlayStation 2 working, so
yay.
What? They make powdered Hidden Valley Ranch? Oh, sorry. Goddamn advertisements.
Steven Seagal uses
it. We also got what might be the greatest trailer for Yakuza Like a Dragon I've ever seen, with the different quote unquote, I think there's like classes in in this game where like
not your normal kind of classes though.
Yeah, like the main character could be like a breakdancer. You could have like what is it? Breakdancer. There's like an idol,
a chef, an idol.
The host,
the fucking host,
where he just knocks over all those like
happy
glasses.
Birthday. That's what he does.
Yeah, I love
fucking
that.
Crazy.
He pulls out a little cake and he says happy birthday, and then he hits a guy with it. Like it's great.
It's like what the fuck?
So awesome. This thing looks so goddamn crazy.
I think the dealer one is the only one that I'm like, what's happening here?
Well, it was funny because they said like they have this whole thing in the trailer for people who aren't watching it. It says and then it goes to different things.
Yeah.
And the one that says like a dealer, and I was like, oh, like a drug dealer, and they're like, no, like a casino dealer.
Yeah. The musician one I think is one of my favorites too.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And we also got a full on I swear to God, I thought we had it before, but there was a story out there that was like North American release date for this game. in November.
Oh, okay.
So it's November 13th for the Xbox One and the PS4, and then November for the Series X, and soon after for the PS5. So,
okay.
Yep. Super goddamn happy about that. A couple other things. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I just thought I'd mention it. The Last Campfire is out. This is that game that Hello Games made after No Man's Sky. It's on the Epic Game Store and the PlayStation, and it's out. So
okay,
you can go buy that.
Good for them.
Looks to me a lot like a lot of those. There's a bunch of games that it resembles that kind of make me weird, but I don't know.
Oh, people love those things.
Crisis Remastered finally has a new release date after the work that they did. So it's supposed to come out in July.
That's right, yeah.
Now it's going to be September 18th on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Because it's on the Switch already, right?
Yeah, because there wasn't anything else they could do to make it look better on the Switch.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do on that one.
But yeah, apparently you can play Crisis Remastered on those. And then for some lighter stuff, let's see. First off, we had a story where people have been adding the Fall Guys to a lot of different games.
Shit.
I don't know why Resident Evil 3 is always the game that they're adding stuff to, but they have this one outfit for Jill that's just, it's like Jill is wearing a giant Fall Guys outfit. And then apparently you can also put them into Skyrim. There's at least one mod to put them into Skyrim. People are loving these Fall Guys.
That's
man.
the thing. Fall Guys has taken the internet by storm.
Yeah,
which caught me off guard, but it makes sense because it's the simple, like easy, accessible thing that streamers can do for hours on end.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's one of those things where
also it's cutesy.
We played it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I see the appeal. Not for me, but
I get it. Yeah. Like it's, I 100% understand why people are so obsessed with it, and people are trying to make costumes and submit it to them and be like, "Hey, could you make this for me, please?"
Yeah,
that's amazing, though.
Yep,
that's how detailed it is that makes it so horrifying. I think.
Oh, the Resident Evil 3 one.
Yeah, because it's got a big old hat too.
It's got the big Jill hat. Yep,
that's amazing.
Yep. Let's see. So Microsoft Flight Simulator is out. Before anybody asks, no, the fuck I'm not going to play it. Mostly because I can't get it to download the 100 gig patch that it needs to run.
Yeah, my one of my because I have a Slack for work, and the guy was like, yeah, so I spent like 12 hours downloading it, and then I spent like another 4 hours trying to get to run, and then I finally flew and crashed into my house and then uninstalled
it. Yeah, so it's kind of a crazy thing. But there is there's a competitor, Michael. There's a game that's actually being published by AMC Games that is called Airplane Mode that is coming soon. It's on Steam. You can wishlist it right now. And it's what it... I love this is why they have to not let people take away Unreal from people, because people use it to do dumb shit like this. This is a game where you spend 6 hours on a flight from JFK to Sweden, and it's literally the game is you are sitting in an airplane seat. And there's a bunch of shit you can fuck around with. You've got movies you can watch, and there's a crossword puzzle you could do, and you can open the window, you can turn on the light in the air, look around the cabin, maybe get up and go to the bathroom. And this is a video game that happens in real time. Apparently, there's also a second shorter trip that is only 2 hours long.
Oh, okay.
But it's just sitting on an airplane in real time
for 6 hours.
It's the goddamn desert bus of video of 2020.
I kind of like that though.
I kind of want to charity stream a full playthrough of it.
Jesus.
I want to get something that makes the back of my chair look like an airplane seat. Maybe put up the green screen and put a bunch of airplane rows behind me, and then just play airplane game for 6 hours. So what's weird though is that it's being published by AMC.
That's the craziest thing. Once you said that, I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. The trailer is also goddamn incredible because it starts with just watching, what was that, from Earth to the moon or whatever. Yeah. And then it slowly pans out to show that it's a person watching it on the little movie thing on the back of the seat. During this, there's they actually the part, because we're not listening, I didn't make Michael watch this trailer. It actually, when it says PA is active, it pauses the movie because the captain is coming on to say stuff. There's a baby crying in here.
Oh my god. He went all the way with this thing.
This game is great. I fucking like it's so stupid and I kind of love it. Like I would pay $12 for this game.
This is so fucking insane. But it's the kind of simulation we need.
I wonder if you have to like if there's a meter for when you have to go to the bathroom and you have to like wait in line or see how long you want to hold it.
Wait for the person fucking in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Frank, what are you doing here?
There's a lot. There's like a lot of things you could do with this game that I think would be fun.
It'd be kind of fun, yeah.
It'd be really interesting as if there were like 3 or 4 different scenarios that you could get depending on which time you went on it so that it wasn't the same every time.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And last but not least, we got a pair of Netflix newses. Apparently Netflix is working on a Resident Evil show that's about Wesker's kids. The Wesker's Kids show.
What?
I think this sounds stupid.
Like, is it the Wesker kid from Resident Evil 6?
I don't know. It's apparently it's going to be 8 1-hour episodes. It's going to be written by one of the guys from Supernatural, and 2 of the episodes are directed by a dude who did Walking Dead and Breaking Bad. And apparently it's going to focus on quote unquote like Wesker's kids.
And this can go either way.
Why not focus on Wesker for fuck's sake? Is it a direct sequel to the movies? Because it can't be. Because 90% of the human race was wiped out at the end of the last movie. I think it was Extinction, which means that the human race is doomed because there's not enough biological diversity to keep you guys from dying.
They have cloning machines, I assume. They can make a bunch of Alice's.
But no, everything is blown up. Like all the birds are zombies.
That's
like
true,
the
yeah.
world is fucked.
Wasn't there like, I don't know. It's been a while. I'm not going to go into this movie.
Yeah.
Cures and whatnot. I don't know.
There was a thing at the end of Resident Evil Extinction where there was like the ticking clock of how much of humanity has died. And like Mila Jovovich has like a thing on her wrist that's like showing what percentage of them are dead. And she finally manages to stop whatever is killing all of them at like 97%, like it's a ticking clock. And it's like, right, but 3% of humanity ain't shit, y'all. Like 3% of the survivors of the first like 6 movies or whatever.
I'm sure it's fine.
And then in other like question mark, what news? We finally got a trailer for the Dragon's Dogma anime on Netflix, which Michael, I have feelings about this. What do you think, or what do you have feelings about?
Well, it can go either way. Like I've never been the biggest fan of the 3D anime.
Yeah,
if that makes sense to some of you guys. Like a lot of for some reason, a lot of studios have now decided that animes are just 3D CGIs.
Yes.
But depending on how much they put into it, either looks really good or it looks like an old PS2 game.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And so it could go either way depending on how it looks like in the final release.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know that much about Dragon's Dogma. And it could be a good story. I don't know.
It's got a relatively good setup for an anime, but yeah, I really feel like it could really go in just about any direction.
Like Netflix seems to be very excited about the idea of adaptating some game stuff now
Right.
that Castlevania has done so well, and everybody's accepted that you could do something like that.
And The Witcher.
Oh yeah, and The
Pretty good
Witcher.
for them.
And so maybe I guess Capcom is trying to get a piece of that something, and they're like, well, maybe we'll use a property that not everybody super cares about to see how it plays out.
Wait a minute. Whatever happened to that Capcom game that was like a Knights in Armor Deep? Was it called Deep or Deep Dungeon or something like that?
Oh yeah,
they shut off like 5 E3s ago.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Dragon's Dogma was fine, but I feel like the people that like Dragon's Dogma really like Dragon's Dogma. Which I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, a lot of people really liked it, and I'm all for it if they really like it, and maybe they'll be good.
Put out like the enhanced edition on like the PS4 and the Xbox One, right?
I think so.
Like a little while back. Okay.
I don't know if it came out or not, but yeah.
Well, that's all the news that we've got. So let's actually answer some emails. We haven't been doing very many emails recently. Let's see. Jonathan writes in, by the way, mail at Rage Select is the email address to send your things into.
Oh, this email actually has my name on it.
Jonathan writes in and says, hello, Jeff and Michael. I hope you're doing well, and this week went better than the last. I recently got into a trend of playing Metroidvanias on my Switch. A few are Blasphemous, Chasm, and Zeo Drifter. I like the nonlinear pathing and the use of different items/skills needed to progress. Are there any great ones you'd recommend? I did run into one issue, however. I lost track of where I was supposed to go midway through one game, ran around for quite some time trying to find out the next area for progression, which ended up being one ladder in the corner of a giant map. I likely just missed it as opposed to poor game design. I ended up having to look through a walkthrough online. As an aside, I missed the collectible books for the N64 that had artwork, facts, and walkthroughs. I guess it's just like a whole separate thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what's your opinion on walkthroughs, and have you ever been stuck and had to look up part of a game? Cheers! That's from Jonathan. I feel like I get stuck in Metroidvanias from time to time, depending on how
It depends on the game.
they're made.
Yeah, some games aren't willing to tell you at all where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And so you find yourself just looking at the map going, okay, which one of these like things isn't highlighted yet?
Right.
And then going there and hoping to God that's where you're supposed to go.
Yep. There were a few of those when I was playing that GBA Castlevania game where there's a few points where I had to look up. I was just like,
Yeah.
where's the next thing? Like,
There's
I don't know where the
quite a
thing
few of
is.
those,
Like, I'll make a concerted effort to go around the map 3 times, but, you know, I'm not going to do it forever. Let's see. As far as some good Metroidvanias on the Switch, let's see. Did they put Axiom Verge on the Switch?
I think so. That sounds right.
Switch. Let's do a Google search and see what's on the Switch. Mania games. I'm trying to think. Is Dead Cells on the Switch? Dead Cells is a good one. I don't know if they actually did that. Hollow Knight? Is Hollow Knight on the Switch? Hollow Knight's.
Yeah, Hollow Knight's on there.
That's a good one. Oh yes, Super Daryl Deluxe.
Oh, that's right.
Fucking A, Super Daryl Deluxe.
Fucking Super Daryl Deluxe.
Gotta go play Super Daryl Deluxe, y'all. Michael and I played it like briefly for 1 minute,
And we were really excited by it.
We really did. We liked it. Bloodstained is on the Switch. Bloodstained is an excellent Metroidvania.
Yeah, Bloodstained is fantastic.
Did you ever beat Bloodstained?
No, I kept meaning to go back to it, but
You're gonna do it on your week off, right?
yeah, that's my plans sometimes, but it keeps getting messed with. The Guacamelee Ace,
Oh, is that on there?
I think 2's on there.
Okay. SteamWorld Dig is SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Dig 1 is not a Metroidvania. It's kind of a Metroidvania in a weird way.
Kind of,
Also,
yeah.
Digger.
Blasphemous, I know, was one that came out recently.
Did he say that he was? Yeah, he played Blasphemous,
Oh, okay.
Chasm, and Zeo Drifter.
I wasn't sure.
It was like Axiom Verge is on there. The Messenger is on there, which is
yes, that's
good
another
one.
really good one. The Shantae game
Oh yeah,
came out pretty recently.
mm-hmm.
That was also really good.
The 5 Sirens or 5 Genies or whatever it was. Yeah, those are both exceptionally.
Some of these other ones I don't
good.
think they're on Switch or not.
Yeah,
I know for a fact Strider is not on Switch.
no.
As great as Strider is.
Is that Mummy game on the Switch? It is on the Switch.
It is, yeah.
The
That was a
Mummy
really fun
Remastered?
one, actually.
Iconoclast. That's a really good one. I played a little bit of. You say you played Chasm. Oh, is Yoku's Island Express on the Switch? Okay, Yoku's Island Express is goddamn strange, and I think it's like the last one that you should play. You literally play as like a little like dung beetle rolling a ball,
Oh, yeah.
but it's a pinball Metroidvania.
Yeah, you showed that one to me.
Yeah, the whole world is made up of pinball bumpers, and you get around by doing pinball puzzles, and it's kind of amazing. I did a Patreon video for it with Chris.
Monster Boy is
Yeah.
another one that I know is really good.
Oh yeah, it was good. I think that works. I think that's a good number of
That's a pretty good number, especially since
Metroidvanias.
there aren't a lot of them. A lot of the best ones aren't even are on a lot of different systems. Is the thing. That's
Yeah.
the hard thing about Metroidvanias
Mhm.
is that some of my favorites are they're scattered amongst things.
Yeah. I mean, my favorites are the GBA Castlevania games.
Those are great. The DS ones are also really good.
Yeah.
I was also a big fan of the Strider that came out not too long ago.
Mhm.
Which was on PS4. And,
Yeah.
sorry, and there's a few others. They made the Metroid ones for quite some time on the GBA.
Yeah.
That were
Everybody
really
liked
good.
Metroid 2 except for me.
Yeah, Return
Metroid
of
2
Samus.
remake.
Yeah, that one. I never played it, but I heard decent things on that one.
I'm trying to think if there's been any recently.
There's also a lot of licensed ones that weren't too bad.
Yeah.
There was a Ninja Turtles one on the 3DS that I thought wasn't too bad. There was an Arkham Origins one that came out on PSP, 3DS, and eventually the consoles
Really?
that I really liked.
Huh.
That one, I forget the name of it. It was Blackgate. It was called Arkham Origins Blackgate. In fact, it was on Humble Bundle on Steam not that long ago for like $5. But
Oh, Ori was the last one that I played that was really
yes,
good.
Ori's also really good, but that's an Xbox one, right?
Yeah. Well, Xbox and PC.
Yeah, if I actually do recommend the Blackgate one a lot. Actually, that one's a lot of fun. There's 3 different endings, I think, for that one, if I remember correctly.
It was just on the PSP, right?
No, like I said, eventually it came out on the actual
Oh, on the consoles
PS3,
themselves. Oh,
360.
okay. Okay.
And it's on Steam.
Ooh, Mark of the Ninja.
Yes, Mark of the Ninja is also really good.
I don't know,
But it's not a Metroidvania, but it's good.
You kind of go back to the individual stages and play them over and over again. But there's Rogue Legacy. We just played Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy is another good example. That Arkham Origins one, like I said, the last time I saw it was on Humble Bundle. So I think it was like $5 right now.
Oh yeah, Sundered was a really good one.
Oh yeah, that's also, and that one is a multiplayer one.
Mm-hmm.
Sundered is really good.
And Cave Story is also really good if you've never played Cave Story before. That is also a very good one. I think they put Minoria out on
I couldn't tell you.
Switch. That one's a weird one, but it was pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I don't know. Play through all those and then get back to us. We'll tell you more.
There's a lot of good ones. And as for your walkthrough question, every now and then I will look one up if it's a game that I'm like, well, I just want to finish this before the next game comes out. And that's very rare.
I usually wait until I get to a point where I'm about to quit.
Yeah.
And if I'm about to quit, then it's like, well, I can either look at a walkthrough or quit.
There's some puzzles I'll do it too.
I still kind of regret the fact that, like, I was listening to that Triple Click podcast and they were talking about, they did a whole like Triple Click picks a few weeks back, and one of the ones that was on their list was the Oberdin, which I gave up on.
Oh yeah,
because it got too hard.
We couldn't figure out what we were doing.
I couldn't figure out what to do next, and I was like, well, if I look up a solution, that's the whole game. So maybe I'll just put this down and then I'll come back to it. Never went back to it.
Yeah, didn't they release it eventually on the Switch?
Is Oberdin on the Switch?
I just sworn it was released on something.
Been. That's definitely not a Metroidvania.
It's not, by the way. I just kind of want the Oberdin again because I remember that being something I announced on it.
I think it's on some of the consoles. Yeah, it's on the Switch.
All right, cool.
Boom, boom, boom.
I do recommend it. It's not a Metroidvania, but I do recommend that game.
Yeah, if you're into like puzzle games, definitely. Let's see. Brian writes in and says, "Hey Jeff, Brian T here, longtime fan of loading bars since the Spill days, first time writing in, and I have a sort of a downer of a question. Has there ever been an event in your life that left you questioning your very worth as a person? If so, what did you do to get out of it? Thanks for listening. Love the show. Keep the great work. PSAT, yeah, from Brian."
I haven't heard that one in a while.
It's a deep cut.
PSAT, yeah. I used to say that a lot for a while after you guys did that.
I need to, I've been thinking about putting all the shirts back up. I need to find if I even have the original art from
that's
PSAT,
right.
yeah, shirt.
That's a shirt I should, if you put up, I'll probably buy.
Yeah. So, okay. Has there been an event in your life that left you questioning your worth as a person? So this is going to sound really, really dark.
He did say it was a downer question.
Right. But I feel like I don't talk about this very much because when I say this, it's going to sound terrible. But you guys got to remember that this isn't something that happened like yesterday. I've never really had any self-worth as a person. There a little bit.
It's like the Hulk. That's the secret, Cap.
Yeah, kind of. The thing is that I kind of live with it my entire life, right? Like so it's like, you know, there's a thing, the imposter syndrome is a big thing with me.
Yes, imposter syndrome is very, very difficult.
Before I started doing Rage Select, I mean, it was just like I was doing a lot of creative work. I was never happy with anything that I ever drew or anything that I ever did. I mean, I could tell, like, you know, I was good at my job, right? But it was like, but this is just a job. It's stupid. Of course I can do it. Like, it's not anything to, like, I'm not going to tie my self-esteem to this. So I don't know. I have problems with low self-esteem, and I've kind of learned to live with it in this weird equilibrium way. Not in the best way. Like, I could definitely be better. And as soon as it's not unsafe to go fucking stand near people, I'm probably going to use this as finally the time to go look into getting some goddamn mental help. But
True.
When I say stuff like that, though, people get all bummed out. And I'm just like, well, I'm 40. It's always been like that. It's like I marvel. I think you and I might have talked about this on something or at some point. Like, I look at people who are very self-assured, who believe that they deserve like happiness in their life.
Oh, it blows me away.
And I'm just like, wow, what must it be like to be like that? Because it's not something that I had and then lost. It's literally something I never had at all. So it's like when I see people that are just like, man, fuck, I'm so mad. I haven't had sex in like 2 months. And I'm like, I haven't had sex in like 3 years. it's just the normal way of my. Like, I don't expect anybody's ever going to have sex with me.
Well,
like,
people were always just like, I keep seeing the memes where they're just like, man, I haven't had sex in like 3 months and I'm losing my mind. I'm like, well, it's been like almost 10 years for me, so I don't see the issue here. That kind of thing.
Right.
I'm getting my wizard power soon, so fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a thing where, yeah. The only thing is that because I have very little self-confidence, the internet comments really bother me because like, if you need a reason to keep yourself down, if you need a reason to like if your brain is the sort that uses every bad thing in your life to make you feel like garbage, that having people make like really personal or very specific criticisms of you on the internet is like the worst.
It's very specific sometimes.
Like I will memorize bad comments and then just replay them in my head for like 2 days. That's why I drink so much. And so again, we go to a really dark place.
It happens,
but like
though.
I'm saying that like it's under control. It's not the worst thing. You guys don't need to like start sending
fine.
me things and worrying about me, because like I said, it's been like this. Well, the internet comments thing, I started at spill.com, for fuck's sake.
No.
Like, the comments were harsh.
And there were a lot of them back then. A lot more.
A lot of them. And then, moving from there on to Rage Select, there was a lot of people in the very beginning that were here for Jason Murphy, and they were not fucking here for Jeff from Rage Select.
No.
And they made that very, very clear. Like, there were a bunch of people in the early days of Rage Select who, like, I don't know if it's like my tone, the way I talk, my tone of voice or whatever, but like, Jason could say whatever he wanted to all day long, but if I got like the wrong date of a release for a game on a podcast, people be like, Jeff, you stupid fucking idiot! It's not the 23rd, it's the 31st. You goddamn idiot! I just be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm sorry. Like
it wasn't a submarine in Under Siege 1.
Yeah, like Jason would basically just get to go on there and fucking pop off with whatever he wanted to, and then people would be like, why didn't you do 6 hours of research into how the NASDAQ works before you start talking about fucking like the Epic Game Store? And I'm like, because I have a life and I would go crazy if I did that. This isn't the
only thing I do.
So, in any case, that is my answer to that question, is that, I mean, I don't hang around places anymore that make me question my self-worth.
Well,
I don't do anything.
The self-worth, like, honestly, it's a tough question, because I'm not in the exact same boat that Jeff is. Like, I do have moments where I'm like, hey, maybe I am worth it, but then like, for the most part, it just goes back to, like, well, you haven't had a date in 10 years. It's like, oh, that's neat. That kind of thing. Yeah. And, but it's never like, I'm never like in a crushing kind of way. Like, I've never looked at myself or my self-worth and was like, oh, that you don't deserve any of the things, period. It's like, I did, like, at one point. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's certain time frames in my life that I look at a certain, like, the way like a person looks at like a story point. It's like, well, this is the downer part, and this is the other downer part. Like, when I was in like
the dark middle chapter.
Yeah, basically. Like, when I was in the 6th grade, that was probably the lowest point I was, for the most part, because I did threaten to kill myself when I was in the 6th grade.
Ugh.
And I always don't bring up the aftermath of it, because it is dark, but I'm going to now because I think it's funny.
Okay.
So when I threatened to kill myself, the counselor at the time he used to be a detective for the Del Rio Police Department, and he was always like, he would question me, stuff like that. He's like, do you have a way of doing it? So on and so forth and so forth. And I was like, no, I'm actually, like, I'm just having a shitty time. Like, in 6th grade, I had a terrible math teacher. Everybody was an asshole to me. So forth. I lost one of my friends for that I knew in elementary to people she knew at some point. I don't know. It was a whole clusterfuck. But years later down the road, and the reason I mentioned this aftermath, I don't know if I've ever told. I think I told you this part before. Mm-hmm. Is that I was in high school. I was reading the newspaper, because I used to read the newspaper all the time. And on the front page was counselor kills himself and his wife. And
oh no!
And the counselor that told me that I had so much to live for killed himself.
Oh no!
And she killed his wife. And my first thought was, that fucking hypocrite.
Oh, woo!
And I remember like
this is a dark one.
It's one of the darkest things that's ever one of the darkest dark humor things that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
I mean, I see it.
And like, yeah, you exactly like you see it. You see the humor in it, but you're also like, man, that's really fucked up. And so,
like, if that was a plot point on a TV show, I would laugh at it.
Exactly.
But the fact that you're telling me it happened in real life, I'm just
life.
Oh shit!
I think I've told like a handful of people that his son's a really nice guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's doing great though. But super dark. But yeah, 2 years later, the other lowest point in my life was that I finally moved out of my parents' house. I was living in San Antonio and I was going to UTSA at the time, and I was working in a movie theater. I forgot to pay my rent one time, and I had such a full I was so sure I could fix it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing that I didn't tell my dad. And whenever they called my dad and they asked, and I was like, it's fine, I got it. I just gotta wait for my next check. And I could have sworn I'd talked to them about it prior to that, but it escalated from there, and I was evicted from my apartment.
Oh shit!
And so I had that on my record for like 7 years.
Yeah,
because it was on my credit, which is the reason I didn't move on my parents' house for a long time.
Right. So nobody wants to give you a place if you've been evicted.
Exactly, and I was at the lowest of my point because I felt like I failed the real world, I guess, is a good way of putting it.
Okay.
Like, it was my first outing in the real world, and I immediately fucked up.
Right.
Like, within, like, a year.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I was like, well, fuck. And then I gained a lot of my weight that I have nowadays during that time period. There was an old set of commercials, I don't remember if Google did them, where it was called Search Overload.
It rings a bit of a bell.
What it was is that like somebody would say something and then they would immediately like reference something in a search history. Kind of like if somebody was like, "Hey, Napoleon," like if they're talking about Bill and Ted, like Napoleon was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo, and like they'll go into the whole thing. It was a whole thing that like was
Search
years ago.
Overload. It's a Search Overlord. It's just showing me nothing but the anime Overlord.
That would have been pretty funny. But yeah, it was an old set of commercials.
For Bing?
It was for Bing, yeah. And so it was just a series of, like, it used to be a series of people that if you talk to them, they immediately would say, like, whatever came to their mind.
Yeah.
I was that guy during that time period.
Yeah.
Because all I did was I sat at home looking at Wikipedia articles. That's how I memorized most of my comic book knowledge.
Okay.
Was I was just reading Wikipedia for hours and hours on end, and I just memorized giant chunks of them.
Okay.
Eventually I got out of that because I went to college again. I ended up meeting more people again. That's where I met Hilario eventually. And then he helped me get out of my funk really well. And then over time went on. I gained my self-worth back eventually.
Sure.
And then I met you and then everything else. And then everything sort of escalated from there.
Yeah.
And then I'm back to a point where I actually do have self-worth.
Huzzah!
It took, like I said, it was a 7-year journey essentially to get to this point.
Yeah.
And I feel great about it. Like I do well at my job. I do well. My roommate's a cool dude for the most part. I've got a good dog. I've got my dog. He's great. And I have a lot of good friends. And so it's like, yeah, I'm probably the most self-worth I've been in quite some time.
Cool.
Really what it comes down to. What it really comes down to is that the way you get out of your funk is that you rely on the people around you for the most part. Yep. And it goes a long way.
Yes.
And so I hope you have people that are there for you that will help you through that sort of idea.
It is unbelievably difficult to pull yourself out of your own head.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were a few times in my life where before any part of this happened, back in the old days, I think I've made some references to this before. I had a whole separate group of friends. I don't talk to them anymore because it's so weird. Like, not all of them were shitty, but kind of when I started doing this, they were all just like, well, good luck with your fucking shitty new friends. Peace out, bitch, and then like never talk to me again. Anyway, so a couple of them were like that.
Yeah.
One of them moved away, or two of them moved away. One of them died. There's a lot of shit going on there. One of them I still talk to.
She's very nice.
She is very nice. But nope. God damn it! I just lost it. It was there. I was thinking about people helping you out of your funk. Oh, it might have been that when my old group of friends were a lot of the people that I hung out with in high school. Okay, got it back.
Yeah.
A lot of people I hung out in high school. This very like analytical group of dudes that were just like very dry and emotionless and logical, and like everything was like dry, wry 90s humor and no emotions whatsoever. And like I was the most emotional person in that group. So eventually I would get to the point where like I would have a emotional overpouring and then just like leave to go deal with my emotions on my own. And then when I started working for Spill and then eventually got to know all the different people from Spill, it was like this is in my 30s. It was like the first time in my life where I was just like, people would say like, so, you know, every time you walk into my house, you say like, so how's your day?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not even going to say that like those people that I knew from back in high school that they said it and then they really didn't mean it. They never even said it.
Oh, really?
And if I tried to say like, oh man, you know, I had a real bad day today, like this fucking thing happened, and they would just be like, I want to talk about me now. Like, and it would be like, oh, okay. Like once I left that group of people, they all scattered because the only reason they ever saw each other was because I would call them all up and be like, hey guys, let's all go out to dinner this Friday.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as I wasn't there to do that, they all just like crumbled and went their separate ways. And they were like, well, we all miss seeing you and seeing each other. And I'm just like, I got a phone. You guys got each other's phone numbers.
That's the thing is like my phone has been the same since I was in like 8th grade.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people I used to talk to in high school, I haven't heard from in ages.
I guess what I'm saying is that I learned when I started working with the folks from Spill, and especially also kind of when I went to school, that like you shouldn't put up with people who are just pretending to listen to you.
Yes, do not do that.
I feel like when I was younger, I fell into this one particular friend group, you know, very kind of smarty smarts, like edgelord 90s dudes, you know, are like, oh man, we're going to talk about like how Kant relates to the Matrix for 40 minutes on acid. And it's like, okay, great, fine. But like you will know when you meet people that are genuinely supportive, who like ask you how your day went and they actually care about how your day went.
Yeah.
So don't put up with the other ones. Don't put up with them.
That's true. And a lot of our friends are the reason we get through a lot of the stuff we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's great.
All right, I tell you what, we maybe have time for one more question. Let's see what I got here.
Get past the downer ending.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do some Discord questions. We did 2 email questions. Let's do some Discord questions. Okay, yeah, these 2 will work. Kate Josie writes in and says, hello, Jeff and Michael. Today I had to make a decision that I am not having fun with Doom Eternal. The difficulty spikes with the Marauders and the Archviles make the game not fun for me. Doom 2016 did have hard moments, but I never felt that there was nothing I could do when confronted by certain demons. When I do kill the unfairly difficult demons, I don't feel a sense of triumph, but rather a sense of bitter relief that it's finally over. Have you had the feeling or have you had this feeling before? That sad feeling that something you really enjoyed suddenly stopped bringing you joy, not growing up or moving away. Not growing up or moving on, but the thing simply changes midway through and is no longer bringing you any joy. Have you? Thanks. That's for Kate Josie. Yeah, let's go into some non-downer questions.
So there's a game called Battletoads.
Oh, dude, fuck that game. Oh my God. Yes. Kate Josie. I liked the beat 'em up part at the beginning of that game.
The beat 'em up part of Battletoads is amazing. It felt great, especially the new one. It felt really, really good.
You brought this up. I didn't even I kept it under wraps the entire time.
Yeah, so I actually beat new Battletoads.
Yeah,
and the first half of that game was amazing. Like I think it was so much fun. Like the beat 'em up parts were great, and then it turns into just fucking nonsense so fast.
There's no reason that bike section should have been that long. There's no reason
really
it should have been that long.
It's really hard.
Yep. Like if it was a third as long as it was and 40% easier, yes. Like I can even understand if they had a thing where like if you put the game on hard, it made it as long as it was and as hard as it was. But like if I want to play the game on normal, let me go. How long would you say it was from start to finish? Because I get the feeling there's a lot of padding.
I started it at like say 11 a.m. and I finished it like at 4:30 p.m.
Okay,
so that's like
5 hours.
5 hours, 5-6 hours. But the thing is, I failed a lot of small parts.
So would you say if you took out all the failure, maybe what 4 hours?
Maybe 4 hours, 4.5 hours at most. It's not super long. The issue with it is it turns into like 5 different games.
Yeah,
and some of it's good and a lot of it's just not good. And some of the parts are just too long that way. Like there's like I said, the first half is the only beat 'em up parts, and then it turns into a platformer, and it stays like that for a while, and then it turns into a stick shooter, and it stays like that for a while. And then it finally becomes a beat 'em up for all of 10 seconds, and then you're done with the game. And I was like, what the fuck was this?
Well, it was very strange for me to hear you say that because, like, when I got to the second beat 'em up part after the bikes, and they were like all the different things you can do with like the tongue moves, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this game has like some depth to the combat and like what you can do. You're still introducing mechanics in the second part, but then it sounds to me like there's like one more part, and then you just don't ever do the beat 'em up again. So it's like, introduce these mechanics, but then don't ever fucking use them for anything.
It's weird. Like they keep introducing things, and by the time I got back to the beat 'em up part, I forgot how to do some of it.
No.
and I was like, how do I do the bubblegum thing again? Like I just kept forgetting, and I was like, what is happening? And some of it would definitely be easier if it was like another player was there. Yeah. There's some enemies that are just fucking pain in the ass but I get what he means with the Doom Eternal thing too, because that was another thing that happened to me when the Marauders showed up. I was like, well, that was a really hard boss fight was my thought, and then they showed up again.
It's like, now they're just enemies.
And again, and I was like, oh, how do I kill you faster? I had to look it up to figure out what easier ways to kill them. It was either the super shotgun or what is it? The ballista is the name of it.
Oh, I never knew. I just used a super shotgun on
the ballista can kill them in like 3 shots if you really like, if you charge it, like, especially if you have the upgrades, if you charge it all the way up. That's how I beat the kill 1 in 20 seconds one, because I would charge it, like shoot it, charge it, and shoot it, and they died like immediately.
I turned on the cheats that just killed everything in one shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it would count for that.
Yeah. You can still do those things with cheats turned on. You just have to beat the level one time.
That's so weird. I did them in like the level. Now I feel cheated, literally. But yeah, like that part those enemies got really difficult. And in fact, when I turned on. When I replayed it, I turned on the cheats for like infinite ammo and just used the BFG over and over again until they died. And it took a lot.
They eat those BFG shots. Like so for me, it seems like the BFG is for Archviles, which it takes like one and then some follow-up rockets to kill an Archvile with the BFG. But that the BFG then also is good for just like if you have a Marauder, getting rid of everything else so you could just focus on fighting that Marauder.
Yeah, there's a level I did like 5 times because of a Marauder.
They're very difficult. I mean, it does help that you can spam extra lives, right? Like that's one thing I learned.
Yeah, that does help.
There's that level where you go to the big arena and fight the guy with the shield with the face on it.
Yeah.
And at the very beginning, it's like you start, you drop off an edge, dash backwards, pick up an extra life, quit to the menu, reload that level, and you can just bank extra lives like infinity. But yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I quit Sekiro on the last boss.
Yeah.
I quit Sekiro on the last goddamn boss because it was just like, someday I'm going to die and I don't want to be on my deathbed being like, I wish I'd eaten more ice cream and played less Sekiro, you know?
I know we brought this up on another Patreon, but the Shadow Colossus type bosses that showed up in a lot of games.
Yeah.
Because they weren't designed that way particularly. So they never felt fun. Kind of thing. Like the Lords of Shadow had 2 bosses that were like that, and it just didn't work the way it should have.
I guess it's I'm trying to think of games where it's like I got that far though. Like I feel like if it's a game like Doom Eternal, even if I ran into something like, because we ran into the Archviles and the Marauders when we were playing it, Man and I, right? Yeah. We just were like, well, this is sequential. We're doing this for fans. Like we're going to figure out how to do this. Yeah. But when I went back through and played through it, I think that I learned that they were really hard. I just had to like, when I was playing by myself without recording, I had to just knuckle down and really concentrate. And then once they were dead, I could be like, And it was kind of interesting because once I finally got that, everything else became less difficult. So like the big cyber demons would show up and it was just like, fuck you guys, it's nothing. Yeah. It's rocket launcher, and you fucking start flashing. Like nothing is as difficult as goddamn Marauders.
That's the thing. Like, none of the enemies are as difficult as that fucking Marauder.
Yeah.
None of them.
The Archvile is difficult because it keeps spawning new enemies.
Yes.
But like, and it runs away. But like the Marauder is the only enemy in that game that fighting one-on-one, it was just like, God fuck you. But then I also kept forgetting about the sword. I kept forgetting to use the sword on them as well. So but I'm trying to think of other games where it's like I was playing them and then they just got so hard.
A lot of people are like that with Mega Man games. I know a lot of people just gave up on Mega Man games or games that are similar to that. As well as, a lot of those old platformers like that. The original Castlevanias, I know a lot of people quit all the time on those.
Yeah, I never beat any of the original Castlevanias because it was just
Takes a lot of work.
it was just like, go back to the beginning. I'm like, no, no, thank you, goodbye.
Fuck you, fuck off.
Yep.
But yeah, I've beaten those, but they're very difficult to beat.
I think it's more. I think the more common thing for me is less that I have a real thick skull when it comes to video games as far as powering through. It was one, I don't remember what game it was. I remember there'd been a few games back in the old days where I was playing the games and I was just like, God, fuck this level, fuck this level, fuck this level. Oh, finally finished that level. Okay, so let's start the next level. It's like, okay, all right. Oh God, fuck this level, fuck this level, fuck this level. But I would keep playing the game because I eventually realized that there was like a swirling thread of fun going through the rocky road of despair that I was going down. Like,
there are games like that. That's how people feel like that about the Water Temple in the original 64 game, because you didn't have, because it's great on the 3DS one because you can turn your boots on and off with just a tap. But that one you had to hit pause, fucking go into it, back and forth, back and forth.
I just, for most part, I get more bored than frustrated. If I play a game, I get bored and I'll just be like, eh.
Yeah, if I quit a game, it's usually because out of boredom. Yeah. I very rarely quit a game because it's difficult. Usually I'll stop for a bit and then come back.
Because if it's difficult and I want to play it, then I'll look up, then I'll go to the walkthrough. Then I go online and be like, how do I cheat at this game? And it's just
how do I break this part? That's difficult.
Yeah.
That's how I found out. That's how I found out about the ballista, because I was like, well, how do I kill this thing faster?
Oh.
Somebody was like, use the ballista. And I was like, oh, okay.
It was mostly for me just the idea of internalizing dodging that big slash.
Yeah.
Like that was the hardest part. And then once that was done, then it was like, okay, I got your ranged attack. I'm in the medium thing. There go your eyes. Bam, shotgun. Bam, shotgun. All right, let's do this again. Bam, shotgun. Bam, shotgun. All right, let's finish up with one more question. Mike writes in and says, good almost midnight to you, Jeff and Michael. A simple question here, at least I hope so. What are the fillings to make your ideal burrito? Would it be a breakfast burrito or a regular one? Have a good night, Mike. So, Mike, we should clarify that, well, this is such a douchebag Austin thing to say. We don't really do breakfast burritos.
No, we're not really a burrito town.
We're breakfast tacos.
Or burrito state, for that matter.
Yeah. I mean,
but I want a meat tornado.
Yeah, I made Michael watch the Binging with Babish meat tornado video,
and that's my ideal one. A meat tornado, just no cheese, and I'll eat the shit out of that thing. Also, no hot sauce, because that seemed like an awful idea.
Those are some really good meats, though.
Really good. Oh my god, my mouth is watering just
thinking about it. Flank steak, and then the carnitas, and then like the.
Any homemade that tortilla?
Yeah,
it's just fucking magic
in a paella pan, in a gigantic goddamn tortilla. I get the feeling that when we were watching that video, that at the end that like he then lines that burrito up, and it doesn't like he needs something for scale next to it, because I think it's way bigger than it looks in that video.
No, it absolutely is way bigger than it looks, especially if it's a fucking pan that's big.
Yeah. So I'm an everything kind of guy. No jalapenos, but I'll take, like, if you give me unlimited rain at a Freebirds or a Chipotle, I'll just take everything. Like, beans, rice, any meat is fine. Pico, cheese, guacamole, sour cream, grilled onions, grilled peppers, mild salsa. Put it all on there, man. You put everything on there. Like, I'll take everything on a savory burrito. You were the basic burrito, though, right? You want meat?
It's just it basically would be a meat tornado.
Meat, beans.
Be meat, beans, more meat,
rice,
a lot more meat, just meat, so much meat.
What's the meat of choice then?
Fajita. I'm really a big fan of fajita.
Just like skirt steak, fajita beef.
Yep. I'm a big fan of just beef, to be honest. I'm a weird guy. I'm not the best. I'm not the best guy to ask when it comes to questions like these.
Yeah, like beef.
The meat tornado literally would be a thing I would make if I had the ability to.
Okay, all right. Yeah. What about breakfast tacos? Do you do breakfast tacos?
I'm a big fan of beans. Bean tacos. I'm a big fan of barbacoa. A big fan of
barbacoa and egg. Barbacoa and egg.
Not really. I'm not a big fan of egg.
Oh, so barbacoa and nothing else as a breakfast taco?
You can do that. People do that all the time.
Okay. I my whole thing is that
that's a normal thing.
If it doesn't have eggs in it, it's not a breakfast taco.
Well, that's different. That's a whole different ballpark when you have to question that part. Bacon and beans, the bacon and egg is another thing that a lot of people like.
Bacon bacon, egg, potato, and cheese is what I make for myself.
Those are I hear a lot of good things about those.
Get the four ingredient breakfast tacos.
There's some that I've seen that are just like, why is this a thing? I don't remember what it was, but it was beans and something that I was like, why would you put that with beans? And I can't remember what it was.
I've had some fucking crazy ass breakfast tacos. There's this place I used to get delivery from Uber Eats back when it used to be cheap to do that, where I would like drink all night and then like get. Like I drink all night. I start drinking like 4:00 in the morning so that I was done by 6, and then I could get like Uber Eats to deliver when they opened.
Okay.
But there was a place here in town that had like cactus, like egg cactus, and like white like queso fresca or something like that, and it was like, oh, that's delicious. I used to really not like black beans, but I like black beans now.
Oh, that's neat. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah,
personally.
I don't know, man. It's I tell you what, Mike, this might not be the best question for Michael and myself because Michael has a very limited is usually very limited in his selection.
Very limited.
And I'm just like, give it all to me, baby. Like I don't give a fuck.
What the exact opposite in food taste.
You're gonna put quail, eggs, and kimchi on there? Bring it. That sounds great. Let's do it. So yeah, that's where we're on. Quail, eggs, and kimchi. I'll take it. On like a spinach tortilla. I don't know. Mail@rageselect.com is the email address. Send in your questions to mail@rageselect.com and check out more from Michael over at oneofus.net. Remind them again of the review that you did.
We did a review for You Cannot Kill David Arquette. That one's really good. We also had a review come out for The Pale Door, which was a movie written by Joe Lansdale's son.
Oh, okay.
Or I think he helped write it, either way. But yeah, there's a few that came out. There's also some other ones that I recorded that I don't know are out yet. But there's a lot of stuff that we put up, so yeah.
All right. Check out oneofus.net. And with that, we're done. I'm going to go make that quail egg taco. Can I get you quail egg taco?
You're not going to shoot that guy in the face and say it was a quail, are you?
No, I'm not. No. I don't know why you would even ask such a thing.